All right, we are back. Justin's back too. He took an extended break. I don't know where he went. Who knows? Anywho, we're back. We're switching over to our Lemans track for afternoon qualifiers. Gonna do the same thing that we did on Monaco. Same groups, same schedule. 8 heats for every racer. Going for the fastest time. See a very happy Tony over there after putting down that remarkable time on Monaco.
How could you not be happy about it?
Different. You want to talk a little bit about the tracks, Justin? Give them a little bit about the differences that's going on.
So Lemans is a little bit less technical. 3/4 of this track, you're going to be full throttle. We have a couple little hairpins in the middle and a hairpin coming out of the last turn to the start-finish line, so they're definitely going to have to slow down there. But a lot of these drivers are flat out. Like I said, 3/4 of this racetrack. They're going to have to be smart. A little chicane in the back can get tricky, and if you mess up the first part of the chicane, the last 2 parts of the chicane are
attention racers, calling for Group 1. I need Group 1.
I think that speaker's going to be worse than on the other side.
It is. I think I'm going to have to go up there and turn it down at some point tonight.
So same format. We're going to start Group 1, 2, 3. Group 1's Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, Brandon. Really great group. Bailey really showed out early on after break. During the halfway point, last one set that first big number down, and then it just kept getting broken after that. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens here.
Well, the same thing's going to ring true. Track's cold, karts are cold on this side of the track. So those last 4 heats today for qualifying are going to be, a half a second to 3/4 of a second faster than when they start out today. So it'll be interesting to see who can pick up those fast times and see if we have any more other controversial moves to pull something out.
I hope not. Or I hope so.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Controversy is great.
Yeah, no, I think this track's going to lend itself to probably a lighter driver in a lot of these cases. Like you said, we're pedal to the metal for the vast majority of this track. And so it's going to be interesting to see which drivers come out on top. I think there's going to be a lot of drivers that have been successful so far today on Monaco that are still successful over here. But I've heard from a lot of the drivers that this is the preferred track for them. And we might see some big numbers come out of some people who've been, middle of the pack today.
They're definitely going to say this is a track for them because they have already gotten a shoulder workout yesterday. They just got beat up on Monaco, and now we have 8 more races over here. So hopefully, with this track being so open, lets them free their body up a little bit, give their muscles a little bit of a cool down. But I think there's still going to be a lot of intense racing out there.
All right, racers from Group 1 are making their way to the karts now. I kind of like this view. We get to see everything. We didn't know what was going on last time.
Yeah, we were having to look back behind the curtain and see.
So I like this view here. Racers getting set up. Mr. Reed's getting everybody set up. Dakota and his team are doing a great job here, getting racers set up, ready to rock and roll. And we're going to be starting with our first heat, or our first race in this group here in just a little bit.
I think it's a good time to remind everybody tomorrow night, if you're here local, from 6:30 to 9:30, we have the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue show. Fantastic barbecue buffet upstairs at Victory Lap. Great band, Joe Pratt and the Source One band coming into town, wanting to put on a great show for everybody. So hopefully you guys come out and enjoy that. Admission is free. There is a charge for the buffet, but you guys can come and check out the music if you want. We got a full bar upstairs as well, so come get some libations and some great entertainment.
James will be there.
I will be there. If for some reason you guys want to see me, you're welcome to come out.
That's a 16th of the entertainment value tomorrow.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. I feel good about that.
All right, getting set up, just waiting on karts to charge after that last practice heat.
Final call for Austin for Group 1. I need Austin.
There's Austin. Getting their last racer set up. And there's Kyle Moore.
There he is. Like I said, you can't miss him in pink.
There's Kyle. Kyle, how'd you feel about your morning?
It's all right.
It's all right?
Yeah.
Are you excited about this side?
No.
All right.
I'm slower on that side.
That bodes well for my team here.
Yeah.
Really does.
I like the confidence.
The confidence is.
Confidence is through the roof.
I hope you didn't put any money on this because you're already in the losing
I
column.
put money on getting him here. That's
Damon and Kamari.
that's all.
Damon and Kamari.
Well, so that's Kyle Moore, our racer liaison, working with our racers. He'll be pretty busy, I'm sure, tomorrow when the protests decide if they're going to come out or not.
He's going to ensure that they don't. That's what he said.
Yeah, but his job's going to be pretty busy too, and at some point he's probably just going to be like, sure, they'll take your money.
The protest system's a little different. Should already allow the drivers to really be sure that they want to protest before paying the protest fee this weekend in comparison to years past.
Gary.
Exactly.
I need Gary.
All right. Again, racers getting set up, ready to rock and roll here shortly for our first race on Lemans this afternoon. Again, this is we're going to do the same format. We're going to have 8 races for everybody. Once it's said and done, we'll let you know who won on the Lemans side, and then we'll call it a day, and we'll get back here tomorrow morning where we start position racing, which totally changes the game.
That's when
Again,
everybody gets aggressive.
Everybody's racing now to get that position. They want to get themselves that good spot for the grids, but also racing for those bonus points, which are going to come into effect on Saturday for the championship rounds.
Which we already handed out our first round of bonus points. Qualifying's done on Monaco, so the top three qualifiers over there take home some bonus points. So we've already got some points to fill in on the sheet for everybody.
All right, still waiting on some charging for this first one. The first race always takes a minute to get out, and then we'll move pretty quickly after that. Got racers all around ready to go. Tell you what, so we don't have a lot of dead air. We're probably going to take a quick little commercial break here in just a moment. That way we can get back when the carts are ready to go. But again, if you're in the Mokina area, you should come out and check us out. If not, continue following us throughout the weekend as we crown America's next E-Kart champion. We get a meal cut. Again, Group 1 coming up soon is going to be Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, and Brandon. Way. Been there since day one. We got pole position out in Des Moines. Been with us since day one. We got High Voltage out here doing great things with us. Their racers have been great. We got Three Rivers Karting. Need to Speed with their champion representing. Victory Raceway. We got R1. Probably missed one. Hopefully I didn't. Going through the list right now to make sure. I think I got everybody.
Sounded good to me.
I see green Chargers, which tells me we are close to getting the first race out. Again, first race, Group 1, going to open up big here. We got Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, and Brandon. They all had a really good first round over there. Elise, Aiden, and Alex, and Austin, even Bailey, I mean, really pulling out some big numbers there and really competing. Going to see how that translates here to this afternoon after those 8 races this morning. I see Chargers coming unplugged. I think we got a race getting ready to get underway here. Oh, Justin's back.
Hey, Justin. Welcome back.
Things happen.
I know. I just kept talking. All right. And then group 2, you know, is going to be Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan. And then group 3, Colin, Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony. Going to be really interesting to see how everybody stacks up here in these first couple of races. But like you said, track's cold, kart's cold, haven't been, you know, over on this side. Everybody's been sitting for a little bit. So we'll have to see what these first 4 races give us.
Yeah, and each track caters to a different driving style. So we'll see who shines on this one.
My driving style is slow, so.
You would have done just fine on both tracks. Probably wouldn't have won, though. That's all.
No, I probably would have beaten Kyle.
Woof.
Oh, my goodness. I know. I got our people have got this live streaming through the center out there, and
So they all just heard that.
I'm sure it's going to be a topic of conversation
so don't
when I
come to
get back.
Colorado Springs and visit your track. All right, heard.
No, absolutely. Please do. But Kyle's good.
I could still beat Kyle.
I mean, we
You
can
know
all
what?
probably
I'm
still
here
beat
all,
Kyle.
I'm here all week. I'll have to challenge him.
Oh, we're good to go. There's a thumbs up.
Thumbs up from Dakota. We got some racing. Karts are on, and here we go. All right. All right, back to the excitement, everybody.
Calling for Group 2.
All right. Karts coming around for that first full lap. We'll start getting some times in here momentarily. That was a wall.
That's what I was talking about. You clip that first part of the chicane, it ruins the rest of the chicane for you.
Yeah, the don't hit walls sign has come out awful early in this one.
All right, here we are. Everybody getting out. Again, Group 1's our larger group by 1 racer, so it's 7 total. First lap out, Elise in the lead at a 21.9. Yeah, that back chicane is really tricky if you don't hit it right.
Group 2, CJ and Jonathan, Group 2.
3 laps in, Elise still holding her lead, followed by Bailey.
And we're seeing a lot of 21.4, 21.5 in practice. Probably expect something similar for the first few races in this round, but would not shock me we start getting into the 20s here by the end.
We better get into the 20s.
That's what I said. We'd better get into the 20s.
Love it.
You heard it from James first. They're getting into the 20s.
Everybody's really spread out. They're doing a great job. You know, on the other track, this group had a tendency to kind of get bunched up in little groups. So I think they're just really doing a good job of giving themselves plenty of track to run against. And they are screaming down this straightaway. 5 laps in, Elise still holding her lead. Alex from Jessup now in 3rd place.
We see a lot bigger grouping here too. Before, everybody was in half a second. Now we're 0.8 of a second.
Trying to get close to that hairpin, like you said, but they're trying to get that straight shot through, but they clip that first one and just messes up the rest of it.
Yep. Trying to take out every little tint they can, but going through the track is not going to get you any quicker.
Coming in 7, going on 8 laps. Still got Elise, Bailey, and Aiden in the 1, 2, 3. Nice seeing Aiden up there.
Looks like Elise is getting ready to catch up to Bailey, so let's see if that changes her times at all or if Bailey gets a little quicker.
Still the same, going lap 8. Getting ready to see the white flag out here momentarily on our first race. White flag is out. Checkered flag will be coming out next.
Ooh, Bailey closed the gap considerably there.
All right, coming around on the checker.
Ooh, Alex jumped Bailey on the last lap.
So our final finish, Elise takes the first place, followed by Alex, Bailey, Aiden, Austin, Brandon, and Brad.
Little commentary from Daryl from Three Rivers. I think he said something about Justin being cute, I think is what I heard. It was loud, but that's what I got out of it.
Okay, well, there's that.
I'll have to ask him about it
All right,
later.
so first race down, Elise from Jacksonville with the win. Just got to feel good about that. Coming out, Group 2 is going to be Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan. Jonathan Rumpel, he was in that top spot from Monaco for a little bit.
He was there for quite a
this
while.
morning, so see how he comes out on his first race out on this side.
You know, one thing I have to say to Daryl is missing the beard, man. He didn't bring Quinn back this year.
No,
Missing the beard.
The beard is not here this year, and for the first time in a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
So first group
yeah.
of drivers coming off. See some smiles, see some not smiles, but again, it's only the first one. They have 7 more chances to put down the time. There's Kyle Moore getting all the racers excited.
I don't think he's getting them excited. I think he's razzing them, and it's only going to get worse as the day goes.
I went with excited, but you know. Tony, since you're sitting right beside us, any tricks up the sleeve for later?
Maybe.
Okay, got a
Yeah.
maybe out of Tony.
We'll see if it works.
Here to talk about it.
I'll say this. It's not like the Monaco tricks.
All right, so we're not running into walls. Heard.
Yeah.
Hold on now. We're only first race in out of 8, so something could change.
yeah,
First-
who knows?
First race down, getting ready for Group 2. And then our Group 3 will be Kyle, Colin, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony. Caleb, he towards the end there started getting some really good showings in the race. Really finished well.
Yeah, he did, and he's again one of the larger group of guys that are able to keep a lot of space when they're out in the qualifying rounds and keep an open track. I was chatting with some of the guys during lunch. Some of the guys have been preferring and finding better times when they're following some of the faster drivers, even though we've talked about the potential for that to work against them. And then you got about the same amount that prefer that open space and want to create their own line and hope for the best.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Kyle, and he was like, I do better when I follow people. And I was like, well, when you watch it, Kyle, you may be doing better, but the person that you're putting the pressure on slows down, and then you in turn slow down. So you have to be careful and make sure that you're with the right person that's not going to sacrifice their line because you're pressuring them.
Absolutely.
All right, Group 2 is out on the racetrack. Again, this is going to be Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan. And Jason had some really good runs earlier today as well.
He really did. Yeah, he came towards the top almost every race that he was in, found himself in the top 3, and put up some really great times, especially towards the end.
All right, Caleb on the clock first there. All right, after the first lap, Aaron from Dulles leading the pack. Again, good spacing. Give themselves room to run. Current fastest lap. Caleb moving into second place.
Joe and Jonathan are getting ready to group up here.
Probably see a passing flag here on the straightaway. Yep, there's the passing flag.
Ooh,
oh, wow.
Wrong direction on the
absolutely
on the change there.
Scrub lap for both of them. They're going to have to just reset, come out and attack.
I think there Joe was trying to get out of the racing line, but Jonathan was already working his way out there to pass, and a little wire cross there.
Top three, Aaron, Jonathan, and Caleb so far.
So Caleb's had a pretty strong outing for you guys.
Yeah, it has been a pretty good outing today, sitting about middle of the pack so far, but he seems confident about the rest of this tournament.
All right, we're 6 laps in, coming up on lap 7. Aaron's still in the lead by a small amount. Jason jumping up into second place from Accelerate Milwaukee. Going to come into lap 8 here. Big tag in the back though. Gotta watch it. Slowing themselves down considerably when they smack those corners. We're going to be getting the white flag here soon as we come up on lap 9. Aaron's still in the lead, followed by Jason and Jonathan. White flag is out. Aaron chipping away at his time. And the checker's going to come out.
Woo. Usually that's what happens. You hit the first one, you tap the second one, you slam the third one, you're literally trimming tenths of a second off with each impact.
All right, Aaron walks away with the win there, followed by Jason, CJ, Jonathan, Caleb, and Joe.
Aaron's keeping real consistent times, chipping away, staying in the 21.4s consistently for about the last 4 or 5 miles.
You'll feel good about that.
All right, so we're going to be coming up with Group 3, which is going to be Colin, Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony. You know, see how Tony comes out the gate here. See if he sets the tone. Teddy was having pretty good luck as well from Birmingham. Got to be happy with that run from Aaron, at least starting right now, taking the win.
I know Kyle's here to kind of be the de facto teacher, but I think Kyle needs to be talking with Caleb and seeing what's going on and see if they can move through the pack together.
Oh, wow.
I agree. I respect that. I know that Caleb and Kyle have obviously built that relationship from the same home track, participating in leagues together, and had some good conversations here at the break. And we'll see if that pays off. I'm definitely curious to see how Caleb ends up here in the last couple of races. Once everything's hot, he seemed to have been able to move up considerably in the last couple of races on Monaco. Group 2 is already getting seated back up. They're gonna lead the next session after Group 3 takes off here.
And that's one of those things there. You go through the different groupings, so you got a little short time there. But if you're somebody like Aaron, you feel pretty good about your last run, figured out some things you want to do, being able to come out and put those tweaks right into effect. Group 3 is already out on the track. Tell you what, been loving this. We've been running really, really smooth versus years past. Doing a fantastic job here getting the races out, keeping the action flowing. So shout out to the pit crew here.
What's really impressing me is the Chargers are able to keep up with this level of competition.
Yeah, that's something that most tracks will see just on a general basis. When you get those guys that are really pushing the carts as hard as they can go, they tend to take a lot longer to charge. But I think running the 3 lanes here today has given just enough time to get those carts ready to go.
All right, we're coming around for the first set of laps here. Going to see what we got time-wise. Tony puts up a 21.7 to start. Kyle in second place.
You jinxed it. He was the second guy across, Donald.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it was. I
There's
didn't.
5 guys across. Hey, there's 6 guys across, and there Kyle is in 6th place. Fantastic.
All right, here we go. Nice and spread out.
Yeah, these smaller groups 2 and 3, typically way easier than obviously group 1 to space out with one less driver.
So it looks like Kyle's running a much wider line coming into the first hairpin than the rest of the drivers are. Maybe that's what's shaving all of his time off.
He'll talk to him afterwards.
You're welcome.
I don't have enough racing knowledge to know if that's sarcastic or not. I have no idea.
Right now you got Tony, Teddy, and Kyle for your top 3. 3 laps in, going to 4. Kyle moving into second place.
There goes Matthew with another strong lap, moving him into 3rd.
Teddy jumping up into second place.
It looks like Kyle really kind of narrowed his entrance into that first hairpin, so I don't know if maybe he's on headset.
He might be listening to you. You guys must have chatted earlier before he got out there.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Nailed that back again.
That's going to be a common theme today, and we got a lot of racing left.
Well, I
Colin
think
hit that where he shook his head.
Well, I think you'll have the WKA guys, and you'll have Dakota talking to them about that, just kind of coaching them as they go in. They're watching the races now so they can kind of address some of the things that they've seen, and I think that's going to be one of the things that they talk about. Got a 21.4 out of Teddy, followed by Tony. Six laps in.
All of these guys are shaving time off.
Every lap.
Top 4 in that last lap, all of them slightly better than the last.
Tony back in the lead, 21.388, followed by Teddy. Kyle still holding strong at number 3. Yep, that's real.
He's experimenting with lines out there, and I think some of them are paying off, but others are not. So I'm wondering if he's trying to set up for those later runs today.
Might as well. You learn a lot in the beginning.
Best time, because you know your last qualifying run is probably going to be by far your fastest. Why not experiment early when you know you're not going to beat your time later on?
White flag is out, final lap. Checkered flag's now coming out. Still got Tony, Teddy, and Kyle.
And that looks like how it's going to stand.
Hey, top 3 win for Kyle. I think that was probably his best finish today.
Yeah. Yep.
So nice seeing that. But Tony from Accelerate taking first place, followed by Teddy from Birmingham.
Yeah, you get a lot of these guys, I think, and like Justin was talking about, with guys like Kyle who are testing those different lines, obviously getting those result sheets back and figuring out what times those led to, and determining, late in this game, the right line is going to be crucial.
Interesting. I agree. I mean, you do all your testing now. Find out what works. Everybody's different, and you just got to. Well, we caught it. It's fine. It's live. It's raw. We're hearing everything from the racers.
We're right here. Elisa's finger is numb, in case anybody was wondering.
Fix that.
We'll see how that impacts her later today.
In case you are wondering, we have this screen behind us, but we're literally right by the racers, so we get to interact with them while we're doing this.
Right in the heart of the action.
I'm liking it today. We might put up some blocks tomorrow while when position racing starts.
Yeah.
Don't know if they're going to be as happy, but
put the blinders on.
So we got Group 2. That was the last race from the first set of races. We are now going back to Group 2 with Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan.
These guys had a quick turnaround, just the one race gap at the end of the session there, and they're back
and it's
to
going to be the same for Group 3.
Yeah,
they're
Group 3.
coming right back out. Group 1 had that long pause, that long break, so.
We'll see if anybody's learned anything in that short turnaround.
Yeah, Aaron was the leader on the last one, so see what he puts in, see if he can come out with a win again. But Jason was right on his tail from Milwaukee, so. And here we go. All right, getting our first laps underway.
Like I said, that bottom tier celebrating like he's won the Olympics.
You did say that earlier. It does feel like Kyle's speed, honestly. It really does.
Aaron coming out strong with a 21.7.
Jonathan, much better run this time already out of the gate.
Caleb jumping up, switching again. I'm just going to be quiet for a couple of laps. It's what we were getting into earlier, but Jonathan jumped up in the first place, followed by Aaron and CJ. They were running closer to 21.1s earlier during practice and stuff yesterday as well, so definitely expect to see these times climb down as the tires heat up and the track heats up.
I think the person that can break into the high 20s is going to be your pole sitter. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, I agree. That's still what we're talking about, that 5 or 6 tenths that we were shaving off on Monaco. That's going to put us right into that top 20, maybe 20.8, 20.9 range. Might speak too soon. It might be a 19. I have no idea.
If it's a 19, I think we have a wall riding situation again. Something miraculous is going to happen for a 19.
Aaron back in the lead there with the 21.5. Joe, from pole position, is right on his tail, though. Followed by Jonathan, Caleb, CJ, and Jason.
Jason seems to be struggling a little bit with this kart. Maybe he's also experimenting with lines, but he had a much stronger showing in his last outing.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to say anything.
I'm not going to say anything
Caleb's
either.
in first place from Overdrive.
Dead last. Congratulations.
Hang on.
Oh, sorry about that.
Let's see how quickly he makes his way back to 6 now that you jinxed it. Now these guys are all putting up great times. Top 4 drivers
Jonathan.
now. Top 4 drivers now in the 5s or better.
And this is really what we saw last time, on the other track, is you started seeing it come down each race.
I think a lot of those. There's Aaron again with an even lower 21.417. I mean, these guys are keeping each other honest, pushing each other to be better each lap. It's obvious in this one.
White flags getting ready to come out. Final lap.
Those bonus points are going to mean everything. Last year, first and second were separated by 3 points.
That's right.
That could be the difference between making pole and making fourth place, just starting on the grid.
Absolutely.
White flag is out. Getting ready to see the checker. All right, we're coming out on the final race, final lap of the race, and let's see if this sticks.
Oh
Caleb from
guys,
Overdrive
look at
has. You probably got to leave and go congratulate your driver. He's going to go talk to Caleb. Wow,
Where's
great
Kyle?
run.
Where's Kyle? Is he in the cart?
He
Yeah.
better be.
Yeah, well,
What a great run. Caleb taking first place, followed by Jonathan, Aaron, Joe, CJ, and Jason.
it looks like the young Padawan has now become the Jedi Master. So
I've seen.
Kyle's going to have to figure it out.
Yeah, hopefully keep each other honest today.
Definitely.
Be fun to see a little back and forth.
I'm going to go let them make that announcement real quick. Let me go talk to them.
You drive a white Nissan Rogue with floor plates QCI A39. Your tires going flat in the parking lot.
Well, you heard it here. If you're driving a Nissan Altima with Florida tags, your tire is flat.
Oh, I got to think about this. What's my rental card? No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so we're going back to Group 3. Colin, Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony.
Right now, it looks like Teddy and Tony pretty much have a stranglehold on that group.
Yeah, it's been.
But you have this master at position 3 last race. Let's see if he can move up.
Well, he has a fan club that's going to find you.
He does have a fan club. His girlfriend's been watching.
That was, but that was a positive.
Right
that was
now.
a positive statement. The master at number 3. See if he can move up.
It felt just the slightest bit sarcastic.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Calling for group
He
1.
appreciates it, I'm sure.
So I wonder if he's going to experiment some more. If he maybe found some things he liked in the last race that he wants to double down on.
He's got a lot of clean air this time, so I'm wondering if he's just going to go for it and see what he can lay down. And then if he catches up to somebody, then he'll start playing around with their line and see what he can do with it.
In your opinion, how does weight play a factor when you're coming with all these hairpins?
Your skill can overcome a lot of things, but I think having the cart, those lateral G-forces are going to slow you down. That's just physics. Somebody that's 200 pounds versus somebody that's 120 pounds is definitely going to slow down a little bit more.
I heard that loud and clear. Good luck, Kyle.
Listen,
right.
Science doesn't lie often.
Nate coming out with a 21.8 to start. Really close, Tony, in number 2. Lots of change, a 21.5. Coming down quick that time, Matt. But Matthew from Three Rivers has really been doing great. Like, really showing out. He jumps up there quickly. Three laps in. Matt from Three Rivers still sitting in first place, followed by Colin and Tony. Teddy jumps up to number 2. They're giving themselves a lot of space. I like this. Tony jumps up into number 2, overtaking Teddy.
We're looking at about 3/10 separating the whole field. So with the spacing they have now, if everything keeps going the way it is, shouldn't catch up with any other drivers.
I agree.
There goes Tony with a blistering lap to take over the top spot. 21.529. And then Teddy comes right back 21.4.
I think that might have been the fastest we've seen so far at 21.41.
I'm pretty sure Caleb ran a 3.60. I think that was what the time was on the last one. But I hate to correct you on that.
I don't know.
Let's just go ahead and keep those dreams and hopes alive.
Very possible. Yeah, I don't know what he ran on that one, so.
I saw 18.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Maybe we're all seeing things. I have no idea.
All right, 6 laps in, getting ready to come around on lap 7. 21.4 from Teddy, still on the lead here.
We are getting a little jammed up here.
Tony, Kyle,
Matthew, it
Matt,
looks
all
like.
just bunched up. It's not going to work out well for any of them. I know Kyle says he loves it, but he does better when he's on his own.
And real nice. He let him in. He had that pressure on the back. Now he's just going to get back into it. Going to get the white flag here in just a second, and there it is. Coming around for the final lap. .21.4 still the lead. .21.344 from Teddy.
I think that one's going to stand.
Checkered flag is out. 21.399.
23.99. Wow.
So 2 21.3s in the books. All right, it stands Teddy, Tony, Matthew, Colin, Nate, and Kyle. All right, so they're already coming down pretty quickly.
I think I'm going to give the Raz back to Kyle this time through. I'm going to give him a nice big round of applause, maybe a standing ovation for him.
I think you should. Yeah.
You got it, Batman. Here he
All
comes.
right, so.
Yeah, he's coming.
Woo!
He didn't seem to appreciate
No,
that.
he did not, but that was a glare that was well deserved.
All right, so now we're going to go back to Group 1.
You see the pickle?
The pickle.
That would be Matthew.
So it was a lot easier doing this on the other side.
We've got
Going back to Group 1.
Both sides are open, so we've got a lot of crowd interaction with us here. Daryl from Three Rivers Karting is talking about his driver that apparently is affectionately nicknamed the Pickle.
Well, his last name's Pickle.
I get
Makes
that,
sense.
but
All right, so
I get the nickname.
we're going
right?
Group 1. Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, and Brandon. They had the luck of the draw this time where they're sitting in that big spacing from their first race to now.
Should be pretty
see.
fresh coming into this
They
one.
should feel pretty good. They've gotten a chance to watch the other racers and see what they're doing. Group 2 has the big break this time. They let off this series and their next series. So they'll have that big break.
so looking at the groupings, who's the strongest group in your opinion?
It's too early to tell. I mean, but if I was gonna, there's racers from either side. I mean, in Group 1, you have Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, even Aiden's been up there.
Yeah.
Going into Group 2, Jonathan, CJ, Aaron, and Jason's been getting up there.
Yep.
He struggled a little bit to begin here, but he did really, really well on Monaco. Group 3, really, Teddy and Tony have been kind of walking away with Group 3. Group 1, I think, has the most in it that we're moving the leaderboard earlier on. So looks like Elise is starting out front, so she'll get herself some nice spacing there. She has seemed to do really well when she's leading the pack coming out the gate. All right, Group 1 underway. Alex coming out strong with a 21.8. 21.7 from Austin, our reigning champion.
And then Bailey comes back swinging with a 21.73.
Wow, 21.5 out of Alex from Jessup, who has been really strong today as well.
I think he had a nice lunch, a nice bacon burger, no cheese, extra bacon.
I know I ate, but now I'm hungry again.
So are all these drivers for that pole position.
Alex still holding first place at 21.5.
Our producer Emil over here has a handful of hot dog. He's happy as could be.
All right, Bailey in second place, followed by Brandon.
Alex still shaving time off, 4.54.
Elise seems to be struggling this time out. 4 laps in, not used to seeing her down towards the bottom of the list. Bailey and Alex are up there battling it out at the top.
Aiden jumped right there to number 3.
There's
Elise, big jump up to
Big
second
jump.
place.
There you go.
21.5. Got a 21.440 out of Alex.
It's also interesting
Oh,
to see.
Brandon jumping up.
Wow.
Bailey jumping up, 21.366. Big moves right now. Five laps in, lots of position changes. Right now it's Bailey, Brandon, Alex, Elise, Aiden, Austin, and Brad. Going to be coming up on lap number 7. Someone nailed the back there.
I think that was Austin. It's interesting to see him. Well, he just jumped mid-pack, but it was interesting to see that most of his races, he's been mid to low end of the pack.
Alex jumps up to number 2 with a 31.8. 21.8, 21.3. Maybe I'm stroking, I don't know.
Jumps up
I think we just got a little
31.8. That's
dyslexic.
incredible.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys.
It's a tough pack.
Reading numbers. Bailey's still holding strong, 8 laps in.
With the last lap coming up right now, just crossed the white flag. Elise is getting tangled up behind Alex now, so we'll see if this leads to anything interesting.
Checkered flags out.
I think these results are going to stand, barring some miraculous miracle. That's kind of redundant, isn't it? Miraculous miracle?
That's right.
I like it.
I like that too. I'm going to start using that.
That's
Miraculous
what would
miracle.
happen if Kyle wins. Miraculous miracles every day.
Well,
I actually hope he wins.
I don't know what he did to deserve this.
No, I
don't
want
know.
him to win heavy. I really do. I'll celebrate with him.
I love
Well,
Kyle.
we would all
It's
celebrate.
out
All of
love.
us are heavy class guys. you know?
Absolutely.
Well, let me tell you what, good racing. Bailey walking away with that one, followed by Alex, Brandon, Austin, Elise, Aiden, and Brad.
I think the most important thing is that Kyle shows up and he has fun. It doesn't matter what happens. That's the best part, is he just has fun.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And, we're lucky enough to have 2 overdrive competitors, but obviously Kyle's here for dual purpose, really making sure that the competition stays tight, it stays fun, and the guys enjoy their time. And it's just one of those things that he's proud to do it, and honored that the competition would have him back to kind of fill that role.
So I think we're going back to Group 3. So this will be Colin, Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony.
Another quick turnaround.
We'll be watching, again, Teddy and Tony, seeing how they do here.
You know what I find interesting is that all the drivers this year seem extremely friendly. All of their families are getting along. Everybody's hanging out at the hotel. You know, it's just a nice,
Today's just
happy
qualifying.
vibe.
It might change tomorrow.
Hey, listen, if
It
they want a
might.
fist fight, it's fine. But at the end of the day,
thus far,
they
Today's a
seem
good
friendly.
day.
yeah, no, everybody. I agree though.
I'm gonna let you guys banter for a second. Right
Through
back.
practice, through qualifying, typically there's a couple of drivers who aren't satisfied with the results, who are disappointed in their performance. But everyone seems to be really enjoying themselves. You see guys that are just struggling to get it going and still communicating with all the other drivers, learning, giving their own tips. It's been great to see, and I think that's gotten better every year.
You're not even seeing any of the frustrations as you've seen in years past. I know it's
No.
just qualifying, but usually you see people that are pretty frustrated with what they've got going on.
Right.
Especially being at the halfway point of qualifying, everybody's still kind of chipper.
Yeah. I think it might even have to do, too, with the smaller group. A lot easier to get to know everybody and really build some friendships. Some of these guys have seen each other before. You know, people like Elise, Kyle, Austin obviously is a returning champion, Aaron. You know, these guys have seen each other before, and I think we're building relationships for the future, too, for next year.
All right, well, we got our race out there on the track, leading it out with the Pickle, followed up by your guy Kyle Moore.
I love that nickname.
I was shocked. Like, that was great. Came out of nowhere. I get it, but I don't get it, and I love it.
Time should be coming through any second now. All right, first lap down. 21.667 for Tony, followed by Colin and Nate.
Well, Colin's a strong showing thus far.
Yeah, for lap 2, Colin's sitting at a 21.443. That leads me to believe we're going to see some even faster times and probably get a couple in the threes again.
We've already dropped down in the 21.4s with Colin's lap.
They were less than 0.4 apart from top to bottom. Tony with a 3.40. That's a really fantastic time.
The Pickle's charging through the field finally.
Part of me wishes Daryl hadn't told me that.
Now, there's no part of me that wishes that. This is going to be amazing. But Teddy's right there along with him, making his drive to the front. Tony seems to have cemented himself at the top.
Now, even shaving even more time off, 21.325 from Tony. We're just over halfway through. Still got some good space out there. Haven't been super bunched up yet. Collins coming down.
7/1000ths of a second difference. There's Teddy back in third place with a 21.529. Colin right back with a 21.321 to take the lead away from Tony.
That's his third consecutive 21.3, and he's just constantly shaving that time down. Whatever he's doing, it's working for him. White flag's coming out.
I would like to say this is going to stand, but you can't ever count out Teddy or Tony, and then even the pickle brings up some wild laps sometimes to finish out the races.
He did just jump up into.
There's Tony, took the lead last lap.
21.215 on the final. We'll see if that stands.
That is it.
Does. Yeah, Tony coming through right at the end, followed closely behind by Colin, Matthew, Teddy, Kyle, and Nate.
I think Tony's tired of the hometown curse. I think he wants to break it.
It sure seemed like that over on Monaco, and it doesn't seem any different over here.
Yeah, he is taking a baseball bat to Superstition right now and just smashing on it. Well, Kyle didn't even pop his visor this time. I think he's
in his own head out there.
I think you might want to go talk to him.
He might need it to be talked to. After a 5th place finish, I think somebody ought to talk to him. We're just really giving him a hard time today. That's all right.
Tomorrow it'll be somebody new.
I agree.
We've got a new nickname for someone already, so.
I do think one of the big things to note, too, is the qualifying timed portion does not always translate to position racing as we get into Friday and Saturday. We've seen, I think, a lot of guys make a lot of moves in those 2 days where you're coming from middle of the pack towards the top, and it's a different style. It's a different style, and there are some guys out here that are crazy fast that you put them in traffic and you might not get the same result.
Yeah, it's just like going to school. You got those kids that sleep through class, dominate the test. You got other people that are up there studying and they fail the test every time. So it's exactly the same here. You could be great at qualifying when you're just racing yourself, but as soon as you step into the ring and it's you versus everyone else, you kind of stutter. And then, you have people that really excel. A couple people we spoke to in the interviews yesterday said that position racing was what they were aiming for, because, qualifying is great and everything, but when it comes down to the brass knuckles of fighting someone out on the track for position, it's a completely different ballgame.
No doubt at all. And I think it's a mixed bag here. It really is. I bet you it's 50-50 of guys that excel in the position racing versus people that excel, in the qualifying portion. So I'm excited to see who comes out swinging tomorrow. I think Kyle's trying to get a points adjustment. I don't know. Time adjustment.
No, he's looking at the computer where all the rankings are.
Oh.
Don't do it.
I don't even want to know where he's ranked. Where's he going? Is he coming over here? What?
Oh, that was sharing is caring.
Luckily, I don't think the live stream is looking at us now, but that was disgusting.
That was.
What did you tell him to make him do
Nothing.
that?
I looked at him.
Don't lie.
I swear.
All right.
Don't lie.
Group 1's back on the track again. Elise out front again. Flip that back side on the coming through. Should start getting some times here shortly.
No, we haven't talked about it at all, but Austin came back this year. He grew like 3 feet.
He did. He did.
That's what you get when we have a lot of teenage drivers, honestly. Get everybody hitting their growth spurt in between seasons.
Last year, he was on the top place of the podium. We're eye level. This year, he's standing on his own 2 feet. I got to look up at him. This is pretty ridiculous.
All right, Brandon moves into first place with a 21.5, followed by Austin and Bailey.
I expect to see Alex from Jessup making a nice move here in the next couple of laps and move up towards the front.
Yeah, this morning Alex was making big jumps each time. Austin takes the lead at a 21.505, 5.15.
So we've gotten down to 21.3.
21.265.
21.265.
And look who it is. Alex making that big jump out of nowhere.
Yeah, that 2.65 this early in the race is pretty impressive.
That's the fastest time so far on Le Mans.
So right now it's Alex, Austin, Brandon, Elise, Bailey, Aiden, and Brad.
I have not heard
And
a lot of
and
impacts.
he put if you look at that, he put a 21.275 just behind it. So he's running really consistent in that first place position right now. Austin's closing the gap though with a 21.49. But that 21.2 still stands.
And it gets even faster.
21.233.
You got Brandon and Austin closing the gap a little bit. About 2.5 tenths behind.
Looks like Alex is caught up behind Aiden, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pick up any more speed.
Just got the passing flag. Did not get it. White flag's getting ready to come out. Final lap.
He did end up moving and giving way, but it might have botched that lap.
Look at Brandon with a 21.319 from R1 in Rhode Island.
Checkered flags coming out.
See if these stand. Think they're going to.
Most definitely. What a blistering lap by Alex.
Absolutely, and I think every single lap, besides maybe one, we were threes or better. So very, very consistent from Alex. He was my guy to watch. Today, we talked about it this morning over on Monaco, and he is holding his own and then some on Le Mans now.
I believe we're coming out Group 2 next.
We're not even at the halfway mark, and we're almost into the high 20s.
No, yeah, we got some room.
So coming in with Group 2, this is going to have Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan. Watching, Aaron and Jason. Jason struggled a little bit last one, but I think he's got some confidence, ready to get it. And Jonathan Rumpel, he made some impressive moves over on Monaco this morning, so can't count him out either.
Well, he struggled early on over here on Le Mans, but I think the last two races he came out and he started throwing his weight around. He was in the top 3, top 4. Hopefully we see, the next step, and he can get, second or maybe even take the heat.
Good old Justin Barnes over there, race marshal extraordinaire. Competed with us last year in the AEKC, so he knows what these drivers are going through, keeping the racing running smooth. Though he did say earlier he wished he was racing, not working.
Me
Sacrifices,
too.
sir.
Oh.
That was a great race. Again, we're getting in these low 21s, and we're not even halfway through. And this is about, when we got to like the halfway, right before the halfway point, we started seeing those numbers really come down. So I wonder if we're going to see the same thing on this side.
No reason to believe that we wouldn't. Even the times that we've seen in the first 3 sessions have really shot these through the floor. So it's something that we're going to need to watch out for. And I think early estimates of what we could see might even be conservative.
All right. Group 2 on the way out. I'm watching Aaron on this one. He put in some good times his last race. I'm going to pay attention to him. Former champion.
I don't know. Jason didn't have a good showing last time, so maybe he's going to come out with a little bit of fire and passion and push.
Really great racing out here today. I can't wait for position racing tomorrow, though. Oh, nailed that back. Seeing less of it as the further we go on, so. Aaron, 21.6, first lap out. Followed by Jonathan from Manassas with a 21.705.
Be curious to see with Caleb having that 21.3 his first time out, if he can get into the twos or even better.
Aaron already down to 21.4. Aaron nailed that back. So 21.4 is still our fastest lap of this heat. 3 laps in, coming up on lap 4. And then after this, Group 1's right back out. Caleb from Overdrive moving into second place. Right behind the leader, 21.4. Aaron chipped away a little bit of his time that lap. Jonathan, 3.97.
Wow. Halfway in. I wonder if he's going to get down in the 21.1s.
Could be. Jonathan showed us what he's capable of over on Monaco. I have no reason to think any different today.
Going to be coming up on lap 7 with Jonathan in the lead with a 21.397, followed by Aaron and Caleb. $21.328.
That one sounded like it hurt.
And that was our leader, Jonathan, so probably scrubbed this lap here. Come around, focus on getting a nice clean lap. White flag's out, final lap. Aaron jumps up, 21.276. Checkered flag coming out. And that was the racer I wanted to watch this one. Aaron brought it out, 21.276.
Caleb, another strong showing, third place. Not too bad.
Now these times are coming down pretty consistently. I mean, watching Aaron and his ability again to stay consistent. I think Aaron's got to be a guy you watch out for all weekend, showing that he can put up fast times, and he's proven in competitions previous that he's able to race in the position racing portion with a pretty high level of success.
Now we're going to be switching back to Group 1. With Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, and Brandon. Who are you watching on this one?
I think you got to watch Elise, personally. I think she's sat middle of the pack for the first couple of heats that she's raced in, but we know what she's capable of, and I think she's going to come out really firing on this one.
I think Alex is coming out and just tearing these lap times apart. Like, I would be surprised if he didn't hit a 21.1 on this one. Maybe lower.
He's on a good track for it.
And I think Austin's been pretty consistent. You know, he's not been at the top of the field, he's not been at the bottom, but he just keeps chipping away and keeps putting in the work. Quiet confidence, he's walking through the pits, you know.
Absolutely.
No emotion, just handling his business and moving on to the next one.
Yeah, during the last little break where I stepped away, got to talk to Eric. He came back this year from WKA. Actually, I turned down a NASCAR gig to come out and see us because he had so much fun last year. So he's out here as our main judge, along with Kevin Williams, president of the World Karting Association. So having these guys out here helping us officiate this thing is really awesome. So we're really happy to have them here.
Well, these guys are passionate about the sport that we all love, obviously, and you know, we talked with Kevin, you know, all last night, and you know, he's excited. I think he's excited about the drivers that we have this year too, from what he's seen in their driving ability. Again, with the camaraderie and the communication that they've had so far in the last couple of days, I know that Kevin and Eric and the rest of the WKA team are really looking forward to this competition. We'll see how he feels once people start crashing into each other.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting. It's always interesting to start those position races, those grid starts, to see them pound off of each other going into turn one.
All right, we got speed, and they are coming out the pit. Group 1. This is the last race before our halfway point of this. Pit crew's doing a fantastic job getting races out on the track. All right, coming around for the first lap here. One more time around, we'll get you some initial times. Again, the further we go down, I want to see how early do we start getting those low 21s coming out. That's going to give us a good sense of how far down they can drive these times. I still think they were hitting closer to 21.1s in practice, so there's definitely some room to go.
Plenty of room to go. We're only at the halfway point. They're already hitting 21.2s.
Well, there's a 21.3
from Alex first lap.
On the first lap. That's ridiculous.
A close 21.5.
Brandon's another one that has come out firing on this track.
Oh, yeah. $21.260.
Alex has found something.
So we got Alex, Brandon, Elise jumps into third with a 21.6. Now Bailey at a 21.5.
I've been watching Alex and Elise coming through the back chicane section. He pulled so much time through the chicane and the straightaway, it was ridiculous. So I think he's found something entering that chicane back there that is just eating this track up. 21.1, there it is. Alex.
21.1,
now in the ones. Alex with a strong lead right now, 4 laps in.
Good showing from Bailey, though. Nice bounce back after the previous 2 races.
Oh, my goodness.
21.096. Wow.
21.
Are we going to see 20s this race?
I think it's very possible that we see that. If we don't see it in this race, I think Alex could easily be the first in the 20s.
Watch him through it. 21.082.
It's only getting faster.
That kart just rotates so beautifully coming into that first hairpin.
Right now it's Alex, Brandon, Bailey, Austin, Brad, Elise, and Aiden.
Brandon has a really strong showing every time.
He has.
We don't talk about him enough because he just comes out of nowhere and quietly makes it happen.
He started climbing the leaderboard on Monaco late in the last session, and he has been towards the top every single race over here on Lemans so far.
Now they're trying to shorten the track. They see somebody's in the low 21s, they're trying to shorten the track.
White flag is out, coming up on the final lap.
Another 21.041 from Alex.
Checkered flags coming out. And barring something crazy, Alex is going to win this one.
Bailey and Brandon shaving time off on the last lap to try to close that gap.
I'll tell you, Alex from Jessup takes the win. Not only does he take the win, but he's now our leader.
By a long shot.
By a long shot on the Le Mans side today. So, what a great showing.
2/10 over the next
What do you think he found through that chicane in the back?
I really think it was, his entrance into the chicane. He almost had a straight line going through there, and then the rotation coming into the first hairpin, it was so fluid. Like the kart didn't even seem like it slowed down at all coming into the hairpin.
Yeah, but you saw as soon as he hit that time, we started hearing walls in the back there as everybody was trying to, like you said, shorten the tracks, shave that time down, go after that. Great showing by the team there. So that was Group 1. We're going to jump into Group number 2. So Group number 2, Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan. Aaron came out last time and won. Now he sees that time there, so he's going to hopefully see what he can do out there.
Well, I think Jonathan and Caleb both have been hot on his heels. Caleb is making a really strong showing. Jonathan he finds random bursts of speed. If he could just stay consistent and build upon that lap after lap, I think he's in there.
All right. Well, I'm excited. Let's see. We got this group. They're ready to go. I see lights on already, so.
What group is this?
This is 2.
We're going back to Group 2.
All right.
Groups 1 and 2 had a quick turnaround for these last 2 sessions, and then Group 3's been sitting a minute.
I don't want to shortchange Group 2, but I think Group 1 and Group 3 are really going to be where your leaders come from. That's my honest feeling.
That's tough to argue with guys like Tony and Teddy in Group 3, and then obviously we saw what's happening in Group 1.
There we go, guys.
Most definitely.
No question.
So Aaron's in the head there, so he'll have some nice open track for him. I know he likes being out in the open there.
You know, there's going to be a point where watching that 21.0 time hit the scoreboard, that the drivers are going to be in their own heads now. How can I get there? What can I do? Can I get better?
Well, you know it's possible to find it out there.
And again, for anybody just joining us, we are almost done with qualifying on day 1 in the American E-Kart Championship. It may be cooling down outside, but the temperatures are only getting hotter here in Chicago. At Accelerate Indoor Speedway in Mokina, Illinois. These drivers are fired up. These times are coming down. Everything is looking great.
Yeah, first lap 21.47 out of and Aaron 21.436. So we're seeing those times come down pretty quickly. Again, Aaron out there in kart 34 by himself. Plenty of room to work the track.
I think he's sacrificing this lap a little bit. He was hard on the brakes early coming into that last hairpin.
.21.3, Jonathan from Manassas. Caleb jumping into second place, right behind the first place. Really close. Going to be 4 laps in here. Aaron jumping back up. A lot of change with those top 3 right now.
It's good to see Caleb as competitive as he is for his first time here. A lot of pressure coming in with Kyle. Kyle's been here, done that. Caleb's come out and shown that he can hold his own.
Yeah, I think he's definitely looking to get out of the threes in this one. He did have his 21-3 just a couple races ago, so there it is right there.
21-2. Nice.
You know, Jason was really strong over on Monaco, but it seems like he has struggled tremendously over here on Le Mans.
I think he may be getting in his own head about how he was performing over on Monaco, and it's just not translating over here so far.
Could also be getting tired. He did a lot of practices yesterday.
All right, about to be 7 laps in. Aaron chipping away at that lead.
1/100th of a second difference between Aaron and Caleb.
All right, coming around 8 laps. Caleb still in the lead. 21-135.
Well, he's clearly found something that's working for him out there.
He found something. White flag coming out, final lap. Caleb, Aaron, Jonathan, Joe, CJ, Jason. And we're going to get the checkered flag.
That's a great showing by Caleb. All day long, he's improved. Just gotten better over on Monaco, here on Le Mans, everything. Just keeps chipping away at it.
And that's going to be it. Caleb takes the win with a 21-3?
1-3-5.
1-3-5. Numbers, guys, numbers. I'm not good at it.
We're here for you.
Followed by Aaron, Jonathan, Joe, CJ, and Jason.
Jason seemed like he struggled a lot on that last race. Coming into the chicane back here, it seems like he was fighting the kart a lot, like he had to really oversteer it to get it in there. The kart was pushing through, so I don't know if he's as happy with his kart, or maybe he's just not really comfortable with the track yet. Or he could just be exhausted. I have no idea, but it'll be interesting to talk to him a little later and see what his take on it is.
This is going to be the last race before our halfway mark. We're making great time here. This is going to be Group 3. Again, this is Colin, Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony. Tony's had a little bit of a break here watching the other drivers, so I wonder if he picked anything up. Again, this is his home track. I wonder if he picked up anything and how he's going to attack this, see if he puts himself up on the leaderboard.
If he wants to sit on pole for both tracks, he needs to be watching Alex, because that was a very dominant lap.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't like it was just one. It was one after another, after another, after another. He just kept knocking those times down.
All right, quick turnaround. Kyle's in the pole here up front.
I'll tell you what, the vast majority of these races have had maybe 20 seconds between them.
Oh, yeah.
And we're right back to it.
All right, and we're off. Again, final race before the halfway mark. We'll be getting some initial times here very shortly. 21-5 from Tony right out the gate. Colin right on his tail, as is Matthew from Three Rivers.
I think you missed it, but Matthew's got a new name provided by Daryl.
I'm not calling him Pickle.
It's the Pickle.
Okay.
The Pickle.
I'll leave that up to you guys.
It's an endearing term, for sure.
Should have seen the look of excitement on his face when he said it.
He was excited.
Teddy coming out 21-219.
It's early.
I mean, we're 2 laps in and we're already seeing him drop, so that's been pretty quick.
I think Teddy's looking to match or beat that 21-0.
think everybody right now is.
There, man, Matthew from Three Rivers, 21.198. The pickle is real.
I thought you were going to leave that to us.
Neither one of you said it, so I had to go.
It was coming. Justin was itching to say that, and you didn't give him the chance. That's a great time, though. Again, early, lap 3, already in the ones. It's something to look out for here.
Tony's sitting in third place, interested to see if he's going to make some adjustments and jump up there. He generally does better on the second half of each race.
He is shaving a little bit of time off already, working his way down at 21.4.
You got Matt, Teddy, Tony, Kyle, Colin, and Nate. Matt still holding on with a 21.198. A lot of tagging in the back in the chicane. Colin jumping up to third with a 21.417 from Audubon Harrisburg.
He's been pretty strong on Lemans.
White flag's coming out.
All right, final lap.
Not a lot of movement on this. I think there's a lot of experimenting going on to find that 21.0 line.
Checker flag's going to come out. Tony takes back third place. And I think this one's going to stay as is. Yep. So Three Rivers takes the lead, followed by Teddy, Tony, Colin, Kyle, and Nate. So Matthew Pickle, the Pickle wins.
I'm just waiting for Daryl to come back over. He came over and said that after he got third place.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a more excited Daryl.
I'm actually scared right now. Like, I feel like something bad's about to happen.
So that takes us to the halfway mark. I don't see any drivers in, so I think we're going to take a quick little break. Typically what happens is at the halfway mark, just to give everybody a quick little breather.
Additional AEKC racers officially halfway through qualifying on the Ma. Have a 5-minute break and get right back to it. Thank you.
You heard from the man himself, 5-minute break, and we're going to get back to the action. So All right, guys, we are back, and we're going to kick it off with Group 2. Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan. Look, Caleb showed out last race. Let's see if he can put on a repeat.
He did. I think he's sitting in second or third at the moment. But the times that they're putting up now versus the times we're going to get in a half hour are going to be very different.
Group 3.
All right, here we go. Start getting some times in here, see where it ends up. This is where we saw it change last time. We started seeing these times just come down. Nice 21.5 out of Aaron on that first lap. You know, I was talking to a couple of these drivers during the break, and they're finding that, I mean, they're going so hard. They got guys, they said they're ripping through their gloves. They got guys that are taping underneath, and just from gripping and really trying to control that cart, you know, tearing up their hands a little bit. It's probably the only real complaint I've heard. A lot of them are just getting real sore hands. Might have had something to do with all the practicing they were doing leading up to it, but...
Yeah, to say that the, 10, 11, 12 races so far today versus the 55 races they did practicing, I know what it's from.
21.48 out of Aaron. Only 3 laps in, so let's see if we can keep attacking that down. Followed by Jonathan and then Caleb for the top 3 there.
A lot of guys testing a lot of different lines right now.
Got Justin going to see if we can get an updated sheet sent to me so we kind of know where our standings are. 21.392 out of Caleb from Overdrive, followed by Aaron at 21.419 and Jonathan from Manassas, 21.476. I think this is Caleb's track.
In comparison to how he performed on Monaco,
how did he feel? Did he say he felt one way or the other about the tracks?
Believe it or not, he preferred Monaco.
Really?
Said that he just struggled on this track in practice, but so far you wouldn't know it. That's what I heard from a lot of the guys, though. I heard a lot of the guys prefer Monaco, but some of these guys at the top.
I think it's the hairpins here that really throw a lot of people off. You combine with that chicane in the back, if you don't hit it right and you tag all the walls. Jonathan jumping up at a 2.83. Aaron answering with a 1.17.
That's a great time. I think that's probably good enough for second at the moment. Still getting...
Again, we got Aaron, Jonathan, and Caleb for that top 3.
We're still running from the elusive 21.0. Haven't seen it in a minute.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. All right, white flag's coming out, final lap. Aaron is in the lead.
Well, Caleb shaved a little bit of time off with a 21.3.
Checkered flag is out. All right, that's going to be it. 21.117, Aaron. Followed by Jonathan, Caleb, Joe, CJ, and Jason. So not a bad showing for Aaron and Jonathan. And then Caleb again coming first place. He got first place last race, third place this time. Good showing all around. Jason struggled on this track out of Milwaukee. He really performed solidly every race last time. This is definitely not his track.
Yeah, he seems to I saw him talking with a couple of the other drivers in the break, but
even CJ from Palisades was really showing out over there. So a very interesting dynamic on how the difference in a track can really affect the drivers here.
There is something to be said about driving from these incredibly long straights for half the track, and then we're all hairpin the rest of the track. So it's definitely a learning curve. I didn't get a chance to talk to Jason, so I don't know what his preferred track is or how he felt about it going into today, but yeah, it's certainly night and day at this point.
We're coming up with Group 3 next, which is going to be Colin and Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony. So the Pickle's back. Let's see if he can bring out another win.
I am not going to get over that. I wish Darryl was here to celebrate with us after that last victory.
Here we go. So they're getting squared away. Get ready to get this next race out.
Group 1's coming up here after Group 3, and they haven't raced since 2 races before the halfway mark. So we've got some drivers that are going to be as fresh as they ever will be. Looks like we might get some points here in a second. Some times, rather.
Yeah, times, no points.
Not points.
Yes.
Times. That's what we care about.
All right, so let's talk about, now this is, how up to date is this, Justin?
This is up to date as of now.
All right, so Monaco qualifying real quick. Tony's leading the pack. That is Monaco. Let's go over to the Lemans, because Alex is currently leading with a 21.041, followed by Aaron Luke Ramos with a 21.117, followed by Caleb with a 21.135, the Pickle at 21.198, Tony Patterson with a 21.215, Teddy Oates, then Brandon, Jonathan, Bailey, and Colin rounding out the top 10. We'll come back and give you guys updates here shortly, but we got Group 3 on the track. I don't know why I kept saying points. I meant times.
That's fine. I went for points, and then they were like, we don't have points. I was like, okay.
All right, we're back, guys. Sorry, we had to take a quick break here. We got a first caution of the day. Justin, did you see what happened?
I did not. No one spun out. No one stopped on the track. They just slowed everybody down.
I only see 5 people up on the board. We have 6 carts on the track, so somehow we're missing a driver on the... All right, so we're going to pull them off, it looks like. Refresh. Thank you. All right, so these have lap timers on them. Something happened. A cart was assigned incorrectly, so one of the drivers was not assigned. So we're going to bring all the carts in. They're going to charge the carts they're in now. They're going to get reassigned. They're going to go back out. So they essentially got 4 free laps.
It looks like our buddy Kyle had to go and mess that one up.
Kyle is the one not assigned.
Cart.
There's a 50-50 chance that this is on Kyle. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it does seem up to par with what he's capable of.
All right, so again, caution on the track. We slowed it down. It was the right call. Take them off the track, put them back in the same carts they're supposed to be in, and then put them right back on the track. Now, if you're Teddy, you're feeling pretty good. You got some really good laps. Get out there and see if you can drive that down. So,
yeah, starting with a 21.4 and early, that's going to be a good time. And we're after the halfway mark. Tires going to be a little bit colder than they were maybe in the last session before we got to the halfway. But
they just got 4 laps to warm them babies up.
Oh, yeah.
But now they're going to cool back down because they got to get a quick charge cycle in.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long, but we will take a look.
And we're going to be doing something, adding on a little something here. If you remember last year, our boy Sean Thresher, king of controversy, asking the hard-hitting questions. He's going to be coming back with driver interviews after this. So we'll be able to get that going, which is awesome. And again, we're going to have a little downtime while we wait for these Chargers to do their magic. And again, this is Group 3. And then we'll have Group 1. We'll bring Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, and Brandon back out.
During the break, everybody was gathered around Alex, talking to him about his line, what he was doing. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody.
I would tell you exactly what I was doing.
I would
said
tell you
nobody
exactly
ever.
What I was not doing. Yeah, if I'm Alex,
It'd be like Tony giving out a secret.
I was clipping the hairpins, all
right.
of them.
Well, you could have fooled me. It seemed like everybody got that tip.
Yeah, they definitely did.
All right. Bacon burger? All right.
I called it.
You
Already
did
got his
call that.
protein and lunch.
There is something to be said about that.
So there you go. Alex ate the bacon burger up at Victory Lap. So if you want to be a fast racer, go do that. Please purchase all the bacon burgers.
That's what they say.
That came straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
How many Johnny Blues with that?
2 Johnny Blues.
That's a really nice bacon burger.
There you go. All right, drivers getting the next group set up as well. Okay, that's the Group 1 getting set up. Waiting to see what they got going on here.
Kevin Williams starting the wave between the 3 of us, and I'm the only one who
Tell you
participated.
what, not bad that this is our first kind of downtime of the event. You know, typically we have a lot of downtime, so we're improving greatly, getting better every year. Got a lot of drivers getting set up, so I think they're going to try to make up that time. They were letting the Group 3 drivers get out of the karts and bio brakes and whatnot, get ready for this while the karts are charging. Now tomorrow the action really starts, man. We switched the position racing, which the whole game changes then. You know, I was talking to some of the racers about, you know, how they were feeling, and some of them said, you know, I'm not doing as well in qualifying, but they think they're going to do really well in position racing. You know, again, you know, one of the big things we saw last year was a lot of issues with establishing the dominant position going into turns, causing a lot of issues. So I'm interested to see how the drivers, you know, deal with that this year. You know, the rule books have been out. We've really kind of beat it to death on what it means, but I know that was one of our biggest issues last year, along with trying to get those grid starts done in an efficient manner. You know, we had a number of restarts and having to do single file, and we had a number of, you know, people not giving position back and getting kicked to the back of the line type thing. So this is the easy part of the job. Tomorrow gets a little crazier. Saturday it's even more crazy as we're getting into the final championship round. So drivers seem to be getting back in. I'm starting to see yellow Chargers, which is means they're getting ready to go. Dakota Reed and his team doing a great job. Shout out to Caitlin and Christina and Emil working behind the scenes to make sure all this goes on. Then we got the awesome pit crew here at Accelerate Mokina, maintaining the safety for these drivers, doing a great job keeping the pickle safe. Yep, I brought it in, guys.
That one came out of left field.
Sometimes you gotta.
Not expecting that.
It's comedy, guys. You gotta just pop it in at the right
worked,
moment.
But you're not supposed to hit us with the pickle.
Should be ready to go here shortly. Sorry about the little downtime, but you know what? We all need a little bit of a break.
We do see see at least a couple of them going green. So
I
looks
see
like we're good to
Chargers
go.
getting pulled. I'd leave Kyle's plugged in a little bit longer. He's going to need that extra juice.
I think Kyle needs to lick both of those terminals to just give himself a quick charge because he's got to go.
He does have to go. He and I chatted during the halfway mark, and he did tell me he had put on weight somehow.
Well, probably had him a bacon cheeseburger upstairs.
He probably did. See, he heard the bacon burger,
So he figured if he
kept
ate
pushing
two.
Alex to that 21-0. It did not
All
turn
right.
well for him.
Let's give
so
this another go, guys. We got Group 3 coming back out. Really interested to see what Teddy does on this first couple of laps here. Does he get right back to those 4s that he was running? All right. Again, Group 3 on the restart. Watching closely to make sure we got 6 karts that show up. We'll start getting your initial times here momentarily. Teddy coming out with a 21.5 right out of the gate. Tony right behind him at 21.6. Followed by Matt at a 21.793. $21,272. Wow. Definitely going quick. So right now it's Teddy, Tony, Matt, Colin, Kyle, and Nate. Not much movement here the last lap or so. Colin jumped up 21.331. Matt right there 21.377.
$21,269 for Teddy.
My favorite thing about this location, you got this upstairs. I see plenty of people watching the racing with that great vantage point. We should have set up upstairs.
I agree.
But if you set up upstairs, you don't get to hear the action.
This is true. This is true. All right, we're still looking at Teddy, Colin, and Matt rounding up our top 3, followed by Tony, Nate, and Kyle. Still a 21.269 is the lead lap right now. Kyle's in a little bit of a close thing here with Matt. Right on his tail there.
We've talked about this before. Kyle insists that it helps him to ride somebody's bumper through the turns. I don't think Justin agrees.
21.212 out of Teddy. I think I could see it when I race. You know, I'm not at this level, but I do like to be close, following somebody and really trying to follow their line so I can pick it up.
As long as it's a fast line.
Yeah. White flag is out, final lap. Checkered flags coming out. See if we see any change here. I don't think we're going to. I think we're as is. Teddy with a 21.212, followed by Colin, Nate, Matt, Tony, and Kyle.
I think Teddy might be a little bit upset about having to come back in for that little cool down period because he was setting the pace. I think that might have actually hurt him a little bit. I think he might have dropped down in the 21.1s if we were able to just keep running that last one. So this one might actually hurt him. He might be upset about this.
Tony didn't seem too happy coming off of there. All right, guys, so in here in a moment, we're going to go to Sean Thresher. He's going to do an interview with a driver here. Not sure who he's going to interview, but we're about to find out. So give a second here for the drivers to come out. Waiting for the signal from my media guy to tell me to go that route, and we'll go. But that was a great race. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what the thought is behind there with everything. But I'm going to go ahead, and we got the drivers coming out. And we're going to go ahead and Sean Thresher, and he's going to go ahead and do an interview. Look at this, we're professional.
Teddy, first and foremost, big question everybody's been asking. You know, you're here representing Birmingham, obviously a rich tradition down there. Yeah. Roll Tide, I know. You know, you're kind of in the shadow of Ryan Wilson. I know that you know that, but you're here to start your own legacy and get your own mark on the racing community. How does it feel following up with him, and what do you hope to show everybody out here from you?
Well, I mean, it's a totally new year, totally new track, so completely new expectations. So far, I mean, I've been doing really well, so I expect to do really well in the championship. And honestly, I'm just focusing on myself and focusing on my racing, and hopefully the best will come from that.
One of the biggest things I've noticed out here from years past is the field seems so much faster than usual. Do you feel that same way?
I definitely do. Everyone here is fastest drivers in America. I mean, that is that way every year, but this year specifically is definitely that way. A lot of new racers, a lot of new fast racers, so it's definitely a really competitive pool this year.
That's awesome. Is there anything you want to say to the people back home who are watching you, cheering you on, and hoping you're going to grab the checkered flag here?
Well, I mean, I really appreciate the support. It's an honor being out here, and it's an honor to, you know, be on live television and to get, you know, coverage from that. So I appreciate all of y'all who do it.
We appreciate you, Teddy. Thanks for stopping by. Back to you guys in the booth.
We're back. We are back partway through this race, lap 2. Elise out in front with a 21.657. Austin's right on her tail, though.
Like you see it, that little 5-minute break we had at midway, everything cooled off. We're back in the high 21s.
Yep. And it's going to take a minute. I don't think long, though. Next 2 or 3 sessions, we're going to be back into those low 21.
Austin jumps up to the top there, 21.455, our defending champion. Elise right behind him at 21.536, followed by Alex. I'm waiting to see what Alex is going to do here. Elise jumps back up. But you know, Alex has definitely been a good performer today. Really, this whole group here has been really strong. It could be anyone's race here. No pun intended.
One of the guys I'm looking at here is Brandon, currently sitting in 7th at a 21.9, but he's been known to come up, right as I said, up to 4th with a 21.7.
A lot of movement. Brad from Victory Raceway jumping up into the mix. Elise, 21.314. I know she was struggling last race. I think she's found something there. But Alex is right on her tail with a 21.375. 6 laps in. She's really giving herself some room there in the lead, not getting caught up with any other racers, and I think, again, that's really key here. She took that back really well. A lot of contact in the back. Eight laps in, we're going to see the white flag here shortly. And the white flag's out. Final lap. Not a ton of changes. See if anybody throws anything out on this last lap here. But nice to see Elise bounce back from that previous race. I think she was towards the bottom of the order last. 21.272 on the last lap. I think we had another 272 on the thing, didn't we? I'm interested to see where that puts her. No.
I'll put her in 8th place.
Yeah, that'll move her up, and because right now she's down 13th, so that should give her a pretty good move into the top 10. So, really good performance by Elise there to bounce back. Go back to the other screen. Let's round out the top 3 there from us. So Elise,
Alex was up there.
Austin, Bailey, Aiden, Brandon, and Brad. Great race. Great to see that.
Austin's making that slow, quiet move to the front. Ever so much the blue-collar workmen out there just handling business, race after race.
Yeah, I think out of all this, if you're Elise, you're really happy with that run. Shows that determination to come back and really fix your line and get back into it. So that was a great race. That was Group 1. So we're going to be jumping down. Group 3's coming back out.
Yeah, short turnaround.
Yeah, we got Colin, Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony. So we'll be coming out with them. Short flip.
Anybody have any faith in Kyle?
Yeah,
Why?
You always have
why?
faith.
So
I'm trying to do a little reverse psychology.
The way you said it.
It's a little reverse psychology.
He's gonna fight you.
You're the one going back.
No, I have faith in Kyle. I'm asking if anybody else is what I meant.
I have faith in Kyle. I love Kyle.
I am interested to see. I think that we saw this exact thing over on Monaco, where there was some movement right there at the end, as you can say with a lot of drivers that sat, middle of the pack, bottom middle of the pack, and we're getting back to that part where these carts are getting nice and warm.
We're going into they got 3 races left, so they've had the 5 races.
Yep.
They're figuring out the track. I think now is the time. They got to start executing now on what they've learned. So I think you put it really well earlier. You're learning the first half. You're just learning. You can not throw the races, but you're not as worried about those. You're just trying to figure it out. Figure out what's going to work for you, and then you really got to execute that bottom half.
Absolutely. I think a lot of these guys are, like we talked about, experimenting with different lines. Some of these guys have found something that really works, and I think we're just doing a little fine-tuning. I think there's a lot of this field that has not quite found it yet.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and I'm going to pop it back to 2 of our big sponsors, our gold-level sponsors, because the carts are getting work, so thank you, Kart 1, for everything you're doing. Sakamoto tires, those tires are definitely getting heated up today. And then this timing's been so close. Thank you, Club Speed Timing, for getting, we have a great system here. It's a tight race, so we really appreciate our sponsors. Of course, Monster, keeping us energized throughout the whole event. I saw some guys. I know our pit team's been slamming Monsters all morning.
I could use a Monster right now. It was a long day.
Do you need a Monster? We can get you a Monster.
No.
Okay.
Production team. That was a plug.
Yeah. We need PAs this next time, okay? All right, so Group 3 is in the carts.
Group 1.
And you just heard that announcement, so Group 1's going to be coming right back out. So we got 3 in the carts. Group 1's going to get staged next, so short turnaround for them.
That means Group 2 is the one with the big break after the halfway mark.
Yeah, how does that? What's your thoughts there, Justin? Sitting for 5 heats, watching the racing go around. How does that affect the driver?
That is the most frustrating thing as a driver, especially when you get into a good flow and then you have to sit there and you watch and then you think and you second guess and it's like, am I doing this right or am I doing this right? Just stick to what you've got going on. Like, you did it okay the first time. If you're trying to improve, change small things. You don't want to take big swings at it. Kyle maybe wants to take a big swing, but everybody else just take little incremental changes. But even Kyle's not that far off. It's a game of centimeters.
I really don't think you can say that anybody's really that far off. It is incredibly close. I think here on this track, though, as opposed to Monaco, the gap may be a little bit bigger.
No straightaways, really. You can pull away and really make those big things.
Absolutely.
It's been really interesting. This backside of the track has really been where a lot of people are losing some of that time when they're hitting those walls. And they've been handling, surprisingly, the hairpins really, really well. Now, I think that's going to change tomorrow when you're jockeying for position, but let's see what happens. So Group 3's out here right now. let's see what kind of action we get. Really appreciate everybody that's been hanging out with us all day. As always, one of our favorite things to do is sit here and give this commentary. Try to make you laugh a little, enjoy the race.
Speaking of which, the pickle's on the clock first.
The pickle is on the pole. Let's go. 21.560.
Where did Daryl go? Daryl, if you're watching, you came and you brought the pickle to life.
He's upstairs.
And now you're just gone.
Didn't want to be a part of the action. He's missing out on a good time down here.
All right. First lap in, we got some 21.3 from the pickle. Nice time, 2 laps in. I really want to see some 21.0s.
I think it's going to happen this race.
I mean, we got it, what, the second race in, third race in? I can't remember.
It was early. It was early in the day.
Matt, followed by Tony and Colin, Teddy, Nate, and Kyle.
And Teddy's starting to make that push towards the front now. Tony's definitely having a better showing than that last race. He came off the track pretty frustrated, so.
Tony's closing that gap.
And Colin's close behind Tony, only 4,000.
Yeah, that 1, 2, 3 is so close.
You know, just because I want to stir the pot a little bit, I think Kart 13 is a monster. Alex ran fast lap, that 21.0. Matthew's in Kart 13, running a 21.317 right now.
There's always one, at least one. Oh, whoa.
Ooh, Tony with a
How about the opposite
21.1.
of 13?
Literally.
Tony and
Look
31.
at you with the commentary.
21,
31 running the, yeah. Oh. Good to see Tony bounce back as well. Like you said, he was really not happy with his last time out. He came off shaking his head.
There was some talk amongst the drivers that he was sandbagging, setting up for a final race miracle like last time.
A miraculous miracle at that.
Hey! I'm going to trademark that. You can't use it anymore. It's a nickel every time.
Until you trademark it, I'm going to keep using it.
All right, 8 laps in. We're getting ready to see the final lap. Flag coming out.
Tony's still running some fast times. You know, he's running consistently 21.2 or better.
White flag's out, final lap.
Look at this spread between second and fifth. Actually, third and fifth even better, 0.005 of a second.
These carts are dialed in. Checkered flags coming out.
Looks like this one's going to stand, as is.
All right, so it's going to be Tony, Matt, Nate, Colin, Teddy, and Kyle.
What a showing by Nate. Most
Yeah,
of the day he's been towards the bottom of the pack and then just comes out and puts a third place finish in.
Let's take a look at the...
That 19.328 came right at the end there.
Yeah, so right now, Alex still in the lead with a 21.041, followed by Aaron. We got some live updates going here. Now that we got this, I'm glad we figured this out. I'm glad you decided to come back and hang out with us. Now we don't have to ask.
We could have used this last over on Monaco.
Hey, listen, technology is a miracle. A miraculous miracle.
So it looks like we're at, again, this is unofficial, Alex Passerino at 21.041, followed by Aaron Luke Ramos, Caleb.
How
leading
about
the pack
that?
at 3, top 3. That's a really strong showing for him. Tony Patterson currently sitting in 4, the Pickles in 5, Teddy Oates, Elise, Brandon, Jonathan, and rounding out the top 10 on Lemans qualifying is Colin Grace. Really great times right now.
You know, I've got to go find a Pickle Rick so he can be with us the entire show.
Absolutely.
It's got to happen.
So that's our top 10 right now, unofficial. Bailey's knocking on the door at 11th, followed by Nate, Austin, Joe, CJ, Kyle, Brad, Aiden, and Jason.
The top 10 is all within 0.2 of a second.
Yeah. Really, the whole thing that really sticks out to me here is Jason Anderson at 19. Really was dominant on the other side.
He has not had a good time.
All right, I got to go to Sean real quick. We have an interview live on the track. Go ahead, Sean.
All right, thanks, guys. There's Lake Speed, there's Swede Savage, there's Dick Trickle, and the newest, coolest name in racing is
Being
what?
able to do this with Caitlin.
I'm not sure. What is it?
It's Matt Pickle. That's the coolest name in racing now. So, Matt, your buddy Joel watching the live stream. I'm assuming it's your buddy.
Yep.
Could be one of your fans. Could be one of the haters at this point. We don't know. Wants you to get an interview. We interviewed you earlier, but we're more than happy to have you back. How's things going since earlier when we interviewed you?
Well, I think I'm still currently P3. I think I can get a little more to get up to that P1, but I want to be in the top 4 because that's top, like, first in the heats. So, yeah, doing good.
There was a little concern. You said you were better over there, struggled a little bit over here. I've been watching you. I think the times are getting better. You certainly look more comfortable. Am I accurate when I say that?
Yeah, I'm finally getting good karts, like karts that suit my style. I've gotten pretty much every kart good over here, so hopefully we can keep it going, keep getting, I think we have 2 races left, so yeah, keep getting more good karts.
For a lot of people that don't think racers are athletes, you guys are getting a workout. I'm telling you, I'm just watching everybody out here. They're touching their arms, they're stretching the shoulders, their back. It's a workout, is it not?
Yeah, I'm going through the ringer right now, so yeah.
Great. Well, keep up the great work. We appreciate you stopping by again. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, guys, we are back. All right, great interview right there with the Pickle. Great showing. All in all, this has been great. We kind of went through those standings. I was saying before, surprised with Jason struggling here. You know, he showed really well on the other track, like you said. Just see what he can do here. He's got 2 more races. Really try to bust it out here and have a good showing. What's impressed you so far, or shocked you so far, if you had to?
I really think that the 2 tracks have kind of shown their nasty sides. Like, they cater to a specific type of driver. I think you see it specifically with Jason. Like, he was really dominant over there with a more technical track. Lemans is more free-flowing, a lot more wide open space. You don't have many opportunities to correct any mistakes. So if you make one, it's another lap before you can get better at it. I'm really surprised with Alex coming out of the gates, just Mike Tyson swinging at everything. Haymakers left and right. Solidified himself on the pole so far. I really don't think with the rate that we're going now that we're going to see anybody come close to this time.
I agree with that, and I think the thing that surprises me right now, and not necessarily because of the type of driver he is, but just this tournament in general, is Tony's ability to stay at the top, if not right in the pole position on Monaco. You know, from a home track guy, typically we're not performing that well.
Definitely.
We got a lot of great guys that come in here, and the home track member does not perform at that high level, but he has completely done the opposite today.
All right, we are out on the track. All right, guys, we're back. Alex opening up from Jessup with a 21.335, a lap in. Elise, a 21.282. This could be it.
I think
this could be it. Elise is right on his tail, though. She came out strong last race. You didn't think anybody was going to get close. Maybe we see it.
Listen, I didn't say anything about Alex. Everybody else is not going to get close.
You said a generic statement.
I think I knew what you meant by that.
Thank you.
I think whatever Alex sets is going to be the time to beat. But we still have Tony, who insists on having a trick up his sleeve. I'm not sure. It worked out last time.
Aiden just came out of nowhere with a 21.4.
Tell you what,
he had been struggling up to this point, and that's going to move him up the leaderboard.
Decide I'm going to pull up here the Facebook page as we got the live going just to see if there's anybody comments that we need to answer. I like this one. These drivers are all badass. They deserve an appreciation for the great sportsmanship, and I'd have to agree. They're doing a great job.
Alex still shaving a little time off.
Yeah,
the
Alex shaving that little time. Bailey's right on the tail. I mean, look at that. 263, 337, 345, 475, 495, 69. That's all right there. Great times. Great times.
And then Bailey just trimmed a little bit more off the 326 now.
Elise
and then
did
Elise,
too.
332.
Elise moving back into third, so we got Alex, Bailey, and Elise. This is Group 1. About to be on our 7th lap. Big contact in the back.
Group 2, final call.
Austin jumping up.
What a lap by Austin, 21.308.
I mean, just look at that 1 through 4 and how close it is. That 1 through 4 is so close.
Absolutely. Less than a tenth separates.
White flag is out, final lap.
Alex is still running at a 21.3 right now. He may be able to get a quick one right here at the end.
Checkered flag coming out. Time to make a move if you're going to do it. We're here, right?
There it is, 21.189, Alex, last lap.
And that's not going to move him up the leaderboard, but it's really just going to show you his ability to be consistent across all of these karts that he's raced here today.
Speaking of leaderboard, let's pop in and see what happens. Yeah, I mean, Alex still sitting top of the game. Really great job.
Really impressive showing from Alex all day. He was the guy that we were watching over on Monaco, but really we should have been watching him over here.
Well, the interesting thing is his competition director spoke really highly of him coming into the event, said that he just has this innate ability to find the perfect line on the tracks. First time in league, he came in, he dominated the league with seasoned veterans that have been there, multiple league seasons, and he came in and he established himself from day one.
Wow.
And we will, we're going to be shifting gears here in a second. We will be going to Zach here momentarily, waiting for the racer so they can do their interview in between races here. As always, a lot of fun. Get to learn a little bit of insight about the racer. And getting set up now, and we're going to go ahead and go over to Zach.
We're here live with Brandon P. Brandon, what's the P stand for?
April.
All right. And how you feeling on this track here?
I'm feeling very confident. As long as I get a good kart pull, I feel great.
You feeling any sort of tired at all?
Tired? What's that?
All right, good. Because if you are, we got the monster. Awesome. Well, we're going to send it back over to our friends over there. Thank you, Brandon.
You were coming back to us, hanging out. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it, man. He's rocking the monster. I need one or two of those. You know what I'm saying?
He does have a monster. I'm jealous.
Got everybody set up. Dakota's going through and verifying everybody is set correctly.
I know. Getting set up. Sorry, we're just reading some of the comments. Loving the love you guys have for all these drivers. Everybody's really dialed in. This is great. Oh, Joel liked the pickle is on the pole. That is now, I'm going to
That's going to be a hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag. There you go. If that's not on a shirt,
Here's the thing. It seems like everybody that comes from Pittsburgh, we had Fear the Beard.
We
Piccolo's on the pole. We've got all kinds of good stuff.
He's allowed to say that. He's got family in Pittsburgh. Well, your wife does.
Yeah, the Yinzers Unite. Woolies Fish Market is
Yinzer-
the party
you
place
just-
in the Strip District.
Okay, fantastic. I've never been to Pittsburgh, but now I'm going to go.
All right. All right, so this is group 2. Oh, look at that. Joel, he's already on it. Hashtag pickle on the pole. Gosh, I should have had the comments opened up earlier. Appreciate it, Joel. You show out every year on the comment page. All right, we're opening up with a 21.5 from Jonathan from Manassas, followed by Aaron. Look at that time from Aaron.
Group 1, second call.
1,000th of a second between first and second place.
So, look what Caleb just did. He hung back, hard drove a lap, straight to the front.
Look at Jonathan jumping up, 3.78.
This feels like there's going to be
I wanna
a
see it.
number of position changes here. Already getting jammed up here in the middle, though.
Got 12 and 37 back here, really close.
CJ and Jonathan.
12 did a good move there. Jonathan pulled off to give himself room to run a really great lap coming across the finish line, so he's going to get a really good lap here. Drivers are making some really smart decisions.
Well, again, they're not going to win it today. There's nothing on the line except for a starting spot tomorrow.
Joel, we love Pittsburgh, but I will say I'm from Philadelphia originally, so there's that. Got a great event with a 21.376.
Why do you have to start fights?
Because I'm from Philly.
It's the city of brotherly love, man.
They love different up there, I guess.
Aaron jumping up that 21.361, man. Really been, Jonathan taking it right
He
back.
didn't like that.
Back and forth.
He
I
didn't
love
like
it.
that. Yeah, just 16,000 separates first and second, still real tight.
Caleb holding on strong in 3. Jason in 4th. He's doing better this race.
Uh, 21-1 by Jonathan.
We might see another. Are we going to get into the zeros here?
I don't think so.
I
Only
like
got
the
3 laps
confidence.
left to do it.
Yeah, it seems like we need to be waiting probably for that last group to get back into the zeros if we're going to get there.
Coming in on lap 8, so we're going to get the white flag on the next time around.
I think that 21-0 is just too special of a lap. You have to be perfect to find that.
White flag is out, final lap. Jonathan still holding on. Caleb in 2nd place. Great showing by Caleb. Caleb takes over 21.163 on the final lap. Look at the smile on the guy next to me right now.
At least you got somebody making you proud.
I can't help myself. I've been so disappointed all day. I got something to be proud of now.
Checkered flag. And how did Caleb finish last race? First. Caleb's coming out. This is his track.
This is definitely his track, and like I said earlier, he went into this whole section running on Lemans thinking that this was not going to be his track.
Obviously, he was misguided himself because he showed out.
I really want to say something here. I've been making fun of Kyle so much, but Caleb just came in first again. Kyle's the first one over here, hooting and hollering, cheering him on.
He loves his teammate.
I love Kyle. I mean, guy's
He's
got a
hard
great-
not to love. He
I
really.
know.
Kyle, what do you think about him pulling out that win?
Oh, I think that's great.
Thank you, Kyle.
He's awkward, so.
All right, that was
We will be going back to Zach here momentarily with an interview, but that was a great race. I'll tell you what, Group 1's coming up next, guys.
It's a dangerous group,
So
as per usual.
they've been watching, seeing what's going on, really interested to see what's going to go in here. Waiting for the driver to get over. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and go to Zach with an interview with our driver.
From Overdrive. And you were jumping around a bit in that race, but you jumped to number 1. How do you feel about that?
Good. Really good. So.
Do you want to shout out anybody that's watching right now?
Yeah, just my family, then the whole Overdrive crew. Can't thank them enough. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Now, what was your strategy to get to number 1, if you want to reveal that?
I mean, a magician never reveals his secrets. It's a good thing I'm not a magician. So over here, I was full throttle.
Proceeds to tell his secrets. All right, thank you very much. Back to our friends over there.
Awesome.
All right, we're going back to us, guys. That was a great interview. Love seeing these drivers. That was your driver out there getting the interview.
Driver.
One of them.
One of them.
Yeah.
The one to be proud of. No offense to Kyle.
Oh, we love him.
I still love Kyle.
I'll tell you what, that was a great race. Caleb's been doing great. I mean, Jonathan, Aaron, Jason. Jason came up. You know, for him, he was struggling the last couple of races. So getting mid-pack now, maybe we'll see him climb up another realm or another rung here this next race, trying to figure it out. But you know, even the racers are coming off smiling and happy. Love to see it. We're going to Group 1, which this has been a strong group all day. They've been together all day. So we're going to see Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, and Brandon. Any big changes that you can see?
I'm keeping my eye on Tony. What happened last time on Monaco, you just can't sell him short. Might pull something out.
He's still holding strong in the top 4. You know, Elise Petty's sitting at 8 right now. Again, these are unofficial, you know, until Dakota tells me I can make it official. Aaron Luke, he's sitting in 2nd place right now, followed by Caleb in the top 3. Really strong performance here. Waiting on some charging from Group 1. Again, just a friendly reminder. One of our great sponsors, the nice little threads we're wearing. Some would call it drip. There you go, laugh. It's inside joke.
David.
That's inside joke. That's a shout out to David. All the officials' uniforms, the stuff our racers are wearing, the swag bags they got, brought to us by Proforma. They can do anything. They can create anything you need for merchandise. Also shout out Gallagher Insurance, insuring us. All right, I got told to stop talking. We're going to go ahead and take a break for 3 minutes. We'll be right back. Appreciate it.
Coming.
All right, I forced us to come back as Group 1's out, and I'm not missing this, and I don't want y'all to miss it either. I want to quickly shout out one of our vendors, Apparel Mart. They do our head socks, keeping the drivers safe. Really great vendor. They're starting to do all our employee uniforms and stuff as well. Really great vendor with Jawad. Really appreciate everything you do for us, my friend. Got a big order coming your way too, so just get wait for that. Well, we love all of our sponsors. Thank you for helping us put on a great event, being able to do everything here. This is Group 1. Seeing what the times come out right now. Keeping an eye on Alex, coming out with a 21.535 for the first lap.
Group 2.
Okay. Took a minute for all of them to get across there. All right, so Alex came out strong with that 21. Bailey jumping up at the 21.514. This is really where they really got to start making these good decisions. They have this race and they have one more, and that's it. So they really got to get out here and start attacking right now.
Oh, Austin, 21.4. Then Alex right back with a 24.429. Bailey, 21.430.
Been really impressed with Bailey all day as well. He really performed well on Monaco this morning, been holding his own here. Alex, 4.22, keeps chipping away, 4 laps in. Elise and Brandon are sitting in the 7s. Hopefully they can kind of find that line and get into it. Elise jumping up a little bit there. Like to see her continue moving up the leaderboard there. Alex still holding strong in first place.
Look at Brad from victory.
Bailey and Brad are right there. Brad's up in third place there. It's really great. Love to see him up there.
Alex still chipping away, 21.325 now. And Bailey also just chipping away at every lead Alex is trying to put over.
Well, Austin's right behind Alex now, so I think Austin's going to study what he's got going on.
Final call for Aaron.
Manipulate that a little bit to his driving style, and let's see if we can get Austin back up there.
Bailey jumping up, 21.296, taking over first place. Followed by Alex, Brad, Austin, Brandon, Elise, Aiden. That's it.
White flag's coming out now. This is the time.
White flag out, final lap.
Alex with a 2.93 to push Bailey down just a bit.
I'm impressed with this run by Brad. We haven't talked about him at all today, and he just comes out of nowhere with a 21.3. Fantastic lap.
Representing Victory Raceway up in St. Louis.
Checkered flags out.
Got the checkered out. Final lap. Another strong showing by Alex. It's not going to move anywhere on the leaderboard. He's still going to be sitting at the top.
But he did pull a last lap wonder out at a 21.293 to overtake Bailey with a 21.296.
It's a tight race, and again, it just goes back to Alex's ability to be at the top consistently, putting up those times 21.2 or better, I believe, in every race he's had so far on this side.
It's reminiscent of what Austin did last year. He was consistently in the top of the field on both tracks, and then the position racing, he just stayed steady, stayed with it, didn't make mistakes, didn't get too aggressive. So if Alex can replicate that, I think that is the recipe for success to walk home with that $10,000 check.
So I think we're going Group 2 next. So I think we have 2 rounds left, guys. Because I see Kyle still hanging out back here. And we're going to go over to Zach with another interview. So go ahead, Zach.
And Brad, how are you feeling about this track today?
That was my best race of the day so far. Picked up like 0.2 of a second. Been struggling with the weight disadvantage a little bit, but other than that, we're coming on right at the end where it counts.
That's awesome. You picked up 0.2 of a second, you said?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. Now, how do you feel about these karts?
They're very cool. Yeah, they're very different from my home track. They're a lot newer. They got a lot more features. Definitely a big fan.
Awesome, awesome. Now, where is your home track? Where are you from?
Victory Raceway, St. Louis, Missouri.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Does anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to all the mechanics back at the shop at Victory Raceway. Hope the karts are still in one piece, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. Awesome. Back to these guys over there.
Back to us, guys. All right, what an exciting race. Let's see if there's any changes to the leaderboard. No, the top 3 still sitting, see a little bit of change. You know, top 10,
Top 8 has stayed the same.
Top 8 has stayed the same.
Colin moved in to 10th place there. Bailey still on the outside looking in.
Jason did move out of 19th place and started moving his way up the leaderboard, but that did something else to 19th place I'm not too thrilled about.
Well, I'll be the first to say it. Kyle is now dead last in qualifying.
But let me tell you what.
He wasn't dead last over there, though. Over on Monaco,
But the
he
top
wasn't dead
3 is
last.
still strong. I mean, with Alex, Aaron, and Caleb. Tony's right there on 4. All right, let's jump back in here. We've got Group 2 featuring Caleb, CJ, Aaron, Jason, Joe, and Jonathan. Let's see what Aaron can pull out here.
Or Jonathan. Could be either one of them.
No doubt.
They're both in the top 3,
No doubt.
so we need to see what they've got for us.
All right, coming out with a 21.577.
Again, Caleb is sandbagging at the back, opening up some space for himself to get a clean run.
No better time than right now to be doing that. Can't do it tomorrow.
Caleb jumping up with a 21.398 in first place.
He has half the track in front of him.
That's paid off twice, 2 races in a row.
And again, that key to qualifying, you get that open space. You're not competing against the other drivers, you're competing against yourself.
Yeah, this group is probably more spread out than we've seen most groups today.
I agree. Right now we got Caleb, Jonathan, Aaron. Well, that changed. Jonathan, Caleb, Aaron. Jonathan come from Manassas jumping up with a 21.236.
I think Jason might have found something, like 21.366.
Jumping up in the second place. And again, you just need that one good lap on that one race to get yourself there. He was actually doing so well that they gave Jonathan the passing flag to let him come across. It did not happen, but that's how fast Jason was making that move. He backed off a little bit. Getting ready to see the white flag, final lap. A lot of noise in the back. White flag is out, final lap. Jonathan, Jason, Aaron still holding top 3.
Caleb, 21.314.
Nice move by Caleb to jump into second place there. Checkered flag is out. I'm not going to discount Jonathan and Caleb, but you know, Aaron made a good move there to get into third place, but we saw a lot of good stuff out of Jason that race too. Really impressed with how he performed to get himself moved back up. But Aaron, that final lap, was able to squeeze out enough to pass Jason right there at the end.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Jason just took a little bit too much time to learn where he's at. I don't think he's going to be able to fine tune it enough to move up into the top half of the field in his next race.
Yeah, that takes us to the end of the 7th session. So everyone's got one more crack at it, starting with Group 2. Actually, no, we still got Group 3 left.
Forgot about Group. How are you going to forget about Group 3?
I forgot about the one with one of my guys, and that's a shame.
Well,
that's embarrassing.
We know why.
That's so embarrassing.
Did we mention Kyle's in last place? I think we mentioned it.
Well,
this is going to be his race, though.
You did that one.
Oh.
We're there.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go over to Zach with an interview with our next driver.
Right, we are here with Jonathan. And Jonathan, what place did you just get?
Well, I finished first, but I didn't improve on my time, so kind of disappointing, but I'm still happy with the first place finish.
Awesome. And where are you coming from, Jonathan?
Manassas, Virginia.
Oh my goodness, that's a good ways away.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, have you driven in these karts before today?
Well, I mean, yesterday, and then I did practice in them with Aaron at Dulles. I ran league there when they first got these karts, so I have some experience, but they're definitely much different than anything I'm used to.
All right, and have you learned anything new the past few days you've been here?
Oh, absolutely. It's really just, there's a variety of techniques that you can use to go fast, so it really is just, can you own your own technique, really? And that makes it so fun because everybody's doing different things, so you never really know who's going to come out on top.
Awesome. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to real quick back at home?
Yeah, sure. I'll say, hi, Mom. I hope you're doing good. We'll see you soon.
Yes. Hi, Mom, and bye, Mom. We're heading it back over to them.
And we're back.
All right, guys. We saw a lovely comment. I think we're giving Kyle too much of a hard time. There's somebody out of the Caleb fan base that is feeling for Kyle now. I'll apologize for that. That's on me. That's on me. I feel like I'm back at home, just me and him. You know?
I have to call this out. Look who made the comment, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's from the Caleb crew.
We really do love Kyle, and he could beat me any day.
He could definitely beat me any day. I don't hold a candle to Kyle.
All right, back to the race. Colin at 21.647, followed by Teddy, Tony, Matt, Nate, and Kyle.
No, actually, I think I'm going to go find Kyle after this race and have him come in and do a couple races with you guys, show him some love, maybe have him throw a few punches back at you guys. I'm going to separate myself from that one because I don't want any of it.
Actually, it would probably be in our best interest for me to separate myself and you guys take it.
Oh, okay.
Teddy in the lead. Oh, Nate jumping up, 21.384 with high voltage.
He's another one that's been sneaky all day.
Yeah, he's found himself in the top 3 in a number of races.
And there's been some comments about weight and how that difference, that's why we instituted the weight class. We have some of our locations step up, do an additional prize pool for a heavy class. So the heavy class drivers still have an opportunity to compete for a prize. That heavy class actually starts at 160 pounds. So
Nate just came out of nowhere with a 21.264. Colin before him with a 21.287. Both of these guys have been mid-pack to backpack, but I think they have found something, and it's clicking for them at just the right time.
Final call, Group 2.
Ooh, 21.187 by Nate.
That's going to move him up the board significantly.
he's definitely found something this race.
white flag is out, coming through to the last lap now. That is it. Everybody is coming to the checkered flag. Not a lot of movement at the end. I think everybody's getting pretty tired now. What is.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
Yeah,
and we've just been sitting here, so imagine what they feel like.
15 races done today, plus any warm-ups that they got to do on both tracks
and these
today.
racers arrived here at 8:30 this morning, so.
Making great time, by the way.
So with that 178, that's going to put Nate in 5th place.
There it goes.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Speak it and it appears, sir.
Only 7 drivers with a 21-1 so far, or better. Obviously, only 1 driver with better than a 21-1.
Yeah, I mean, that's been really interesting that he's, the only one with a 21-0 so far. But now, here's where it's at. We're in the 8th series of races. This is the last one, so.
But it's also worth noting that 21-0 came on the last race before the break. We have another race left.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Well, as I'm saying, this is the last series of races, so we're going to see what happens here. But right now, our top 10: Alex, Aaron, Caleb, Tony, Nate, Jonathan, Matt, Teddy, Elise, and Brandon. So, final opportunity for the drivers to get in some time on this track, set themselves up for tomorrow. Monaco's already done. We'll do the same thing here. As soon as we get done, I get the official word from Dakota. We will give you the final standings, throw it up on the screen so everybody can see. But so far, had some really, really clean racing. I go back to the sportsmanship. You see everybody coming off. Even if they're frustrated themselves, you don't see them taking it out on anybody else. There's a lot of smiles. There's a lot of high fives. So it's a really good environment right now. I hope we continue that through the remainder of everything. Everybody's been performing really, really well. And, but tomorrow, I mean, tomorrow starts position racing, and the whole thing changes, so.
Yeah, somebody in the hotel last night pulled out a 7-foot inflatable baseball bat, and I think after position racing tomorrow, that may be becoming an aggressive tool in the hotel. The baseball bat, all day, every day. We're going to pull Kyle in. I think he needs a little bit of love here. I'm leaving.
Kyle, please sit.
Oh, gladly.
So we got a fan club for you online.
Ooh.
They said that we're not taking it easy enough on you, so we wanted to call you in and just get your take on everything that's happening so far today.
That's good. I think the event's going great.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
What words of wisdom that we have.
What's going on out there for you? What are you seeing in your performance out there? Are you struggling on this track? Well, I know the answer to that, but tell me your thoughts.
To be honest, I know you guys don't want to really hear this, but it's really the weight. If you look at the weight, for our heavy class, we're at the bottom. Now Nate's in the heavy class, but just barely. He's running the same weight. Some of these guys, and he's doing great. So
he just got himself in the 5th position for qualifying on Lemans.
To be honest, I think he's going to win the heavyweight class.
Don't sell yourself too short.
Don't sell yourself short. There was some love saying we were giving you a hard time, too hard of a time.
No, bring it on.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
It's all in good fun. We appreciate you, Kyle. Obviously. Yeah. I know we've mentioned it a couple times. Kyle's been brought on by the tournament as a racers liaison to compete, and has really been, I guess, the foundation for some of these guys, especially guys who haven't been here before. And we're obviously lucky to have you out here, man. We appreciate you.
Thanks, bud.
Kyle's also my driver, so I'm allowed to give him a hard time. I'm allowed to give him a hard time. Let's check into the racing, though. It's Group 2 out there on the track right now.
Big mover right now, Jason Anderson comes out of the gate with a 21.234.
That is going to be one of our fastest opening lap times we've had. And Jason, who we have talked about on numerous occasions as having struggled on this track, started to get it together in the last race and is on a path for something special here at the end.
He's still got a little bit of work to do to crack the top 10 because everybody in the top 10 is 21.1s.
I disappeared. Jason's in the lead.
Yeah, we
Sorry
just
about
mentioned
that. Sitting there and getting a Charlie horse from sitting all day. That's how athletic I am. All right, let's get back to the racing.
Ooh, Aaron comes in with a 21.13.
Getting there.
That's going to be good enough for third place right now. I know Caleb was in third with a 1.35.
Well, Aaron was in second, so he didn't improve his position at all.
That's confusing, then I'm confused. What are you going to do?
I think at this late in the day, we're all confused.
I'm tired.
We all float down here.
Already more than halfway through, but really some great times out there. Oh.
Jason back.
On pole.
Wow.
21.061.
Big showing by Jason. He has struggled all day and just put out a phenomenal time.
Have we ever seen someone go from dead last to the pole in one move until
Jason.
just now?
Fantastic, Jason.
Unbelievable. What a lap.
But look at the cart number.
It is the number 13. Number 13 has been a fan favorite today. That's an impressive time. Really impressive.
What a move there. White flag coming out, final lap. Let's see if Jason can hold on to this. If so, it's going to be a really decisive race for him in the final race.
I think, do I hear chants of sandbagging over there?
I hear something.
It might not be sandbagging.
It might. I don't know what it is.
I think it's Alex.
There's something brewing.
What a great race.
That is it. Jason, last race comes out. Back half of the field to first. One special, miraculous miracle lap, I'm telling you right now.
That performance is worthy of that trademark frame.
All right, folks.
Let's switch over and see what the unofficial. Congratulations, Jason, on that race.
Oh, it is going to be short.
No, he's still going to be in second.
It's going to be short
But-
by 200ths of a second.
But I mean, he's going to move from 16th to second place.
Unbelievable.
That's a huge move.
Well, that just goes to show you how quickly this thing can turn around, especially in the qualifying stage.
There it is. He's up there now. Unofficially, official, unofficial. Second place for Jason. Well, I can't say official.
Well, I mean, I'm still confused.
That's right. Try to keep you on your toes, keep you thinking.
That's fine.
Yeah, that cart number 13 is responsible for both first and second place at the moment. That's a good one. Some people consider that the unlucky number, but not today.
But again, really impressed with that driving. Again, it comes down to you never know. It just takes one lap in one race to show out and have a really great performance.
We had two back markers come from the dead back of the field, now mid-pack to front of the pack. You got Nate Grove coming from 15th, 16th position to 6th with a monster.
But here's the crazy thing. Nate's coming up next because Group 3's coming out. So let's see if he can repeat that performance. He did really, really well. There's going to be Colin, Kyle, Matthew, Nate, Teddy, and Tony. And that's the other thing. This is the last race, and Tony did tell us he might have something up his sleeve. This is exactly what happened last race. Over there, last race.
Now, he went into detail and said that he wanted to use that trick up his sleeve to get into the top 5, but he rounds out the top 5 right now, so I'm curious to see what kind of movement we may see here as Group 3 is about to hit the track.
Well, the good news is everybody today has had a chance to get the mythical unicorn Kart 13. Some people have been able to pull one out and just show how fantastic it is, but everyone has had the opportunity to make that kart work for them.
You definitely got to drive it the right way. All of these karts, you know, they need to be driven a certain way, and it is all about the drivers who can find it.
I'll tell you, still excited. We're gonna end the day on Group 1.
Absolutely.
Which has been, you never know where it's going to go. A lot of great racers. But in that group, Alex, sitting in P1 right now. Got, it all depends what's going to come here and what work he has to do. Are we going to see Tony do something? Pull that, trick out and go out?
I think if Tony does wind up pulling himself to the front of the pack, I think we're going to start hearing some grumblings.
Why wouldn't you?
Why do you have to start stuff? Can we just move on with it?
Controversy sells, my guy.
We're not selling anything.
Ain't no such thing as bad press.
Exactly.
But gearing up for this, it's been crazy. It's been a great day of racing. I'm excited for position racing tomorrow because the whole thing flips, and we're going to have battles. We're going to be really paying attention to dominant positions and corners. The grid starts and all the science behind that of getting that jump on the grid start. Shout out to the officiating team, though, Dakota Reed and everybody here. They've been doing a fantastic job keeping this thing running. This thing was, I think, supposed to run till almost 7. We're going to get done early. I always like getting a little bit of time back. So it's been a really good time. I appreciate everybody that's hung out with us throughout the day.
And there's a lot of you. There's been a lot of people engaging. We appreciate the comments. I know all of the drivers appreciate the show of support that they're seeing. Got any good questions while we wait for Group 3 to get out there?
No, not just a lot of love for Tony right now. Just a couple of debates on karts and things like that, which I'll shy over just because I'm not trying.
Was that a catch me outside? Is that what I saw?
No.
Probably.
But got drivers seated. Group 3's coming out.
Round 8, last race, Group 1.
I'm telling you, this one, I'm watching hard. I'm watching Nate, Teddy, and Tony.
Yep.
That's me. I want to see what's going to happen there.
I got my eye on the pickle. He's coming out.
Where is he sitting right now? He sits 8th place right now. One of only 8 to race better than a 21.
Be interesting to see. I'm watching number 10 too. Elise is sitting right at number 10. She's really going to need to put in a performance in her last race to be able to hold that. Depends what happens here. If we don't get any kind of big shifts here, she just makes sure she has to hold on there because she's going to have a couple people on her tail there trying to fight their way in. Austin is at her group and he's sitting at 14 right now, really close. You also have Bailey sitting in that group who's sitting at 13. Aiden sitting at 16. Brad sitting at 15, so that's a really close grouping for that final race. As long as we don't have any shifts in this next one, but we got the Group 3 coming out for their final race of the day. All right, let's see what happens here. Getting close to it. We got this race and one more, and then we're going to call it a day until tomorrow. Group 3 is out for their final race. See what these initial lap times look like. .21.5 right now is the lead coming from Tony. Teddy's close behind with the pickle rounding out the top 3. Austin jumping up early with a 21.297.
For lap 2 to already be at a 21.2, I think he's going to drop down pretty substantially himself.
Tony jumping up with a 21.270. Austin in second. Nate in third again, climbing up. Four laps in.
Not a lot of movement right now.
No, everybody's kind of in place here. But again, getting those tires warm. Time to make a move here.
Oh, there goes Tony with a 21.258.
All right, 6 laps in, coming up on lap number 7. We're doing really well here. Austin in second place, followed by Matthew, Teddy, Nate, Colin, and Kyle.
Watch out for Tony. He just set a 27-second lap, and it's reminiscent of.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's reminiscent of him setting up something big, and there it is, 21.195.
So that's interesting. I didn't catch where he did it, though, where he caught that slowdown at.
Back there coming into the first hairpin.
Okay. Final lap, white flag is out. 21.195 is the current lead.
He's slowing down again, 24.
He's got one last shot at it. We'll see if he can get it done.
But he's got a racer in front of him.
He does.
$21,183.
21.285 by the pickle. And that is it.
Tony took that for his final. Oh, I messed up.
Doesn't do anything for Tony, I don't think.
I don't think so either. I don't think we're going to see any changes right now.
Unless somebody just comes out and rocks next race.
Yeah, I just meant from this. Yeah, the top 10 looks like it's going to sit. Now we're coming into our final race of today, Group 1. All right, so again, Group 1, going to be Aiden, Elise, Alex, Austin, Bailey, Brad, Brandon. Final time, you got Alex. Who else sitting? Alex and Elise in this race sitting in the top 10. But you got people knocking on the door right below. Number 11 is Brandon.
And you got Bailey, who's been strong.
Bailey in 13, but Austin Partolo in 14. Brad in 15. So you have all these people that are really close there. And so I think Elise got to play defense. She's got to put in a really good time here. She can't slip. No. It's very easy to go from top 10 and get pulled out. So she's got to do some clean racing here, get some good times. If you're Alex, you're feeling pretty good right now, but you still have to watch your back because all it takes is one good lap in to get kicked out of that spot. I'll tell you, been really out of everything so far, Jason moving up in the second place. Huge move by him and really great.
Absolutely.
He's got to be feeling great about that. I did hear though after this race we're gonna I'll be able to step out. We're gonna hear from Kevin Williams with the World Karting Association, and final race is out on the track. I'm gonna switch back there. Thank you, sir. Final race of the day. Final qualifier. And as always, let's see what these first laps look like when they come out. All right, there we go. Finally got some times up there. .21.384.
Bailey, I told you he was going to come in hot.
Some good racing here for this final group. Got a passing flag out. Got Bailey, Alex, Brandon. Big move by Austin jumping up into third place. Bailey still holding on to position 1. Alex sitting solidly in 2.
It's going to take something in the low 21 ones to make an impact on the standings. So anything that we're seeing right now is non-consequential to how we're sitting currently. With this being the last chance to move up, everybody is going to be driving their heart out right now.
Bailey making little incremental, at least nice jump up to 4th, now back to 4th place. Couple of changes there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Austin from Need to Speed, defending champion, jumped up to 2nd place there with a 21.314. Bailey still holding on to the lead. .21.184 out of Bailey. That's gonna matter there. We'll have to see what that does.
That's going to put Bailey in 7th spot. That bumps Elise out of the top 10.
Lap 7, going on to 8. That 21.184 out of nowhere. Bailey did a great job with that one. Dropped down to a 24 on that one. Interesting.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, wonder if he figured out the trick. White flag coming out. Final lap. Ooh, someone nailed the back.
He tried 21.445.
Checkered flag on the way out. This final race about to be in the books.
That's it.
Bailey takes it. We're going to get some live updates here. As soon as I'm given the word that we can officially go, I'll let you know what the top standings are. I can tell you, though, Alex holds on to the top spot. Best qualifying time of the day on Lemans. And Jason stands as well. I don't see those changing. We're letting them reshuffle to anything that might have changed in the middle. But at least those top 2, stand out. Are only 21.0 something. So good changes there. Going to try to find Dakota here and see. You want to ask Dakota if we can go ahead and make this announcement here? But, great racing today on Le Mans. We saw some great moves here. Alex, decidedly qualified first here.
I think what might be one of the most interesting things is, unlike what we saw in Monaco, that time was set in the first half.
Yeah, for sure.
Tires warm for sure, but we were definitely expecting to see some of those zeros pop back up, potentially even a 19 after seeing that time so early. Didn't happen, but obviously you can't argue with the move from Jason from 16th into 2nd.
Yeah, really great showing by him. Really great job. As it stands right now, the top 3 is Alex, Jason, and Aaron. Waiting for official word from the race director that we're allowed to go further down, and we'll talk through it. Definitely some great racing. Definitely some respectful sportsmanship out there. Love to see it. Tomorrow we switch into position racing, and that changes the game completely. Going to be a lot more. All right, so I just got word we are now official. I'm going to kind of run through this here for you. Number 1, Alex Passarino. Number 2, Jason Anderson. 3, Aaron Luke Ramos. Following in 4th is Caleb Koskov. Going the 5th, Tony Patterson, followed by Nate Groh, Bailey Tolson, Jonathan Rumpel, Austin Partello. Rounding out the top 10, the Pickle at 10. Dropping down to 11 is Teddy Oates, followed by Elise, Brandon, Colin, Brad, Aiden, Joe, CJ, and Kyle. Great showing. Oh, you want me to do Monaco as well? A lot of names. And then from this morning, Monaco, Tony Patterson with his Magic coming out with the 20.246 to be first, followed by Jonathan, CJ, Teddy, Nate, Jason, Aaron, Bailey, Elise, and rounding out the top 10 from Monaco is Brandon. Dropping down to Alex, Austin, Caleb, Aiden, Kyle, Colin, Matthew, Brad, and Joe. Some really great racing today. This is going to set the stage for the remainder of the week. You can see we're going to go back to the Le Mans things. You can see them up on the screen now with the Le Mans finish. Going to highlight here Alex, and then the big move by Jason to come from 16th up to 2nd. That is a huge jump. Really fantastic job. A lot of talking today.
A lot of talking today. What, 6.5, 7 hours today?
Nine
like
and a half.
Well, we
8 and a half.
Break.
We got an hour
break in the middle.
Call it 7. Call it 7. But it was a great time. We really enjoy this. This is what we're passionate about. Great racing, respectful racing. I really hope that carries through to tomorrow.
It won't.
Spoken as a true racer, Justin.
Listen, we've all been here. We've all seen what the position racing does. It's like a full moon out there.
Really appreciate everybody that joined us today.
I had to check and see if it was a full moon, because it's going to get dangerous tomorrow if it is.
No kidding.
Really appreciate everybody that joined us for this today, hung out with us, commented, built the conversation out, had fun with it. It's a good time.
I do think we need to mention it's Friday the 13th tomorrow.
I'm in danger. But that lap by Alex that he put down today was just one of those perfect, you can't do any better laps.
Jason sure tried and almost did.
I'm going to step out for a moment. I'm going to send Kevin Williams over here momentarily so you guys can chat with him, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. You never got a break at all today.
I was going to say, I'll get up so you can talk with Kevin. No? Okay. Bye, Donald.
Well, I mean, he did take the table to the knee, so there's punishment.
He deserved that.
But overall, good racing by the drivers. I think that last heat, they bunched up a little bit too much, just in desperation, just to find that spot. But Bailey Tolson, huge move, moved himself up into 7th position. Teddy Oates and Elise were pretty dominant today, but they find themselves outside of the top 10 over here on Le Mans, and that just goes to show you the caliber and the level of drivers that we have here this year. Everybody from first, first through 16th are within 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, the numbers just don't lie there, and you're going to see the same thing on Monaco as well. And that's exactly what we talked about. I mean, if you go top to bottom here, we're 21-0 in first, 21-5 in 19th, and that's what we talked about earlier. 4 or 5 tenths of a second separates top to bottom here. And you know, the rubber meets the road here tomorrow. Qualifying is only an indication of your ability to do one fast lap in reality.
Yeah.
We saw some guys that were able to be very consistent. A couple of guys with some miracle laps. But once you get out in traffic, we'll see what happens.
Our Monaco times are a little bit more spread out, but again, that's the technical track. That's the one where there's a lot of different driving lines that you can take. Some of them work fantastic for position racing, but suck for qualifying.
That's right.
And I think we're going to see a lot of people think, oh, this driver qualified great, they're going to do great in racing. I don't think so. I think every AEKC that we have had, we've seen that. The people that qualify great, that first position is crucial because you get a good start. You get clean. You don't have to worry about anybody bunching you up. You set the pace.
Right.
Second place back gets a little hairy, but that's when the driving skill starts to shine through. Times are times, but position racing, when you're trying to finesse another person, that's where you get to see the skills shine.
Well, I see Kevin coming out of the pit here.
He looks a little ruffled. He hasn't even got any action yet.
Yeah. Grab a seat, Kevin.
Yes, I will.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. What a weekend. What a day.
It's only
I
started.
was going to say, the weekend's
Oh,
not
we're
even
just
here
starting?
yet.
It's
Okay,
just starting.
let's go. I live in Vegas. We don't ask any questions.
So, Kevin, this is the second year that WKA has come out to help us put on this event.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
Well, first of all, I've got to say congratulations to the drivers. What an amazing pool of talent. It's amazing that you come to a new event, don't know a lot of the drivers. Some we knew, some we didn't, and they're all doing amazingly well. The safety and the electronics of the equipment, top notch. And actually, I mean, I got to tell you, this has got to be one of the safest programs that I've been involved in. So, first of all, those are the important things. There's always room for improvement, but at the same time, this has been just an amazing experience for us as WKA, as officials, seeing the camaraderie between the drivers, and at the same time, great racing.
So, not to scare you or anything, but my colleague over here brought up, tomorrow is October the 13th, a Friday.
Friday the 13th, yeah.
Well, I live in Vegas, so that's like a holiday for us.
I was going to say, that's like New Year's. That's New Year's. That's
we call that
Christmas.
Tuesday where I come from.
That's Christmas for Kevin.
So no problem at all. So we go into the heat races tomorrow, and we're real excited. We've been working on where our grids are going to be and how we set up the grids. In fact, that's what we're doing out there now. And so we think it's going to be some great racing. Great racing. The talent is just so close here. I applaud the AEKC for establishing a heavy class because then those guys have something to shoot for as well. So all around, everybody wins in this event.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you guys coming out, Kevin. I know that how crucial it was seeing you guys out here last year compared to how the tournament was officiated in years past. I know you guys make a huge impact. I know the guys respect you. How has the communication been from the drivers in terms of getting questions, or this was their opportunity here to make moves on other drivers and figure out what is going to determine a penalty and what isn't?
That's a great question. We've actually engaged a lot of the drivers and asked them questions of how we think we should officiate in certain scenarios. We've gotten amazingly smart feedback. Not to say we're going to do everything that way, but we're going to do everything that's best so everybody feels like they have a fair shake this weekend. We brought some out when we were designing the starting loop. We had great drivers meeting last night. We asked the drivers for input last night. We told them we're here for them, which is what we do at WK anyway. We're there for the racers, for the drivers. The people we care about, the people put the helmet on their head. So it's been extremely well feedback from the drivers. They come to us and said, hey, would you approve of that move I made? We counsel them, get all those questions out of the way now. So when it comes to the real competition, we can say, remember, we talked about that.
Right.
Or they'll say that to us.
I have a feeling that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We talked about this,
Yeah,
Kevin.
right. Wait a minute.
Kevin, we talked about this before. You just said it now. We've got it on camera. We're not doing everything the way the drivers want it.
That's right. That's
right. Kevin, I think you just backed yourself into a corner.
No.
He feels
no,
confident.
listen, we've had some great input from them. We've gone to them and asked them for input. But at the same time, it's all their experience, all of our experience together is going to just accumulate into a great event.
Well, Kevin, we appreciate you guys coming out. Tomorrow, the gloves come off. That's when everything gets dirty.
For us, too.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun for everybody. This position racing, the grid starts are always interesting. So, again, appreciate your team coming out, helping us out, taking over the officiating
Thrilled.
duties. And
Absolutely thrilled. And this isn't just a race. It's an event. It's a culture. And we're just absolutely thrilled to be a part of it.
Well, we're thrilled to have you here because it takes a huge weight off of our team's shoulders, and we can't say thank you enough.
You guys do a great job here, too.
We try.
Yeah. Try.
Yeah.
Try, yeah. It goes off rails sometime.
I asked the producer if he's been watching the comments, and they all been very, very positive.
For the most part.
Yeah.
They sure have been.
Yeah, poor Kyle.
Yeah, sorry, Kyle.
I gotta tell you though, they're great cheerleaders online.
They are. No, we see
Great
we
cheerleaders.
see a ton of that from families and friends that just couldn't make it
For
out
sure.
here, and
For sure.
They make their presence known for sure. We appreciate everybody tuning in with us today.
On a Thursday.
On a
Don't
Thursday,
you people
of all
have
days.
jobs?
This is their job.
They're
They're here and their racer on.
They're probably doing it at their job, honestly. I know how it goes. I see it all the time.
Bosses, you didn't hear that.
Wait, it's 2023. Remote work lives
That's
on.
right.
That's right.
That's right. Well, guys, thank you all very much.
Yes,
very much.
thank you,
Great,
Kevin.
great
Guys,
event. Great.
Appreciate everybody joining us today. I know it was a long day, but a lot of fantastic racing. Come back and join us tomorrow. Position racing, the gloves come off. We look forward to seeing everybody. Have a great night.